Hey fam, we're back with another banger. What if Issei was reborn as the Phantasm Dragon Emperor? So before we start, if you are craving adult mature content, in my Patreon now, link are in the description box. Alright, enough talk, let's fire it up. Now that Rin is gone, what should I do? A young boy said as he walked through the park. The boy aimed to be around 6 or 7 years in appearance. He had spiky dark hair with some white strands, and evidence of his foreign blood. The same could also be said about his skin, which was somewhere between light tan and pale white, and his eyes, with yellow eye on the left and black one on the right, showed that he had a rare case of heterochromia, probably also caused by his foreign heritage. While he was still youthful in appearance, it could be seen that he had already surpassed the children of his age, with his height at 140 centimeters, dwarfing the rest of the children that were playing at the park. Why does he have to go to Europe anyway? Now I have no one to play with. I want to play with the other kids, but they say that I'm too tall to play with them and that I'd cheat since I'm too tall. I need to find someone else to replace Rin. But how can I do that? The boy said, depressed. As he wandered aimlessly through the park though, he suddenly came across a peculiar sight on one of the benches at the small park. A young girl, probably around his age from her appearance, give or take a few months, was currently fidgeting on the bench while looking like she was really scared about something but also anticipating it. Although he was still just a kid, the boy was mesmerized by what he had seen. Long white silver hair that reached her waist, clear sky blue eyes, pale white skin, a long a white dress with black frills that reached just below her knees, all of them accentuated her foreign yet elegant, strange yet breathtakingly beautiful atmosphere around her. Now, he was clearly not an expert in this kind of thing. Evident from his age, but he had at least asked his father this one time about why he married his mother. Dad, why did you marry Mom? I mean, not that Mom isn't pretty or anything, but I'm just curious. The boy asked his father. Curious, huh? Ha 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 ha, I guess that should be common for kids your age, right? Ha 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 ha, alright, come here, the father said as he motioned towards his lap. Following his father's instruction, he sat down. Now, look in the kitchen. What do you see? The father said. I see Mom cooking dinner for us, the boy answered, unsure of what his father's intent might be. What else? She's smiling, and she's humming that song that she always sings when I'm going to sleep, and she also seems to be really happy, the child answered enthusiastically. What about her eyes, Issei? The father said, addressing him directly. Her eyes, Issei said while tilting his head, confused. Mom's eyes look really pretty, and warm, and kind, and there is also this kind of calm feeling when I look into Mom's eyes, and somehow I know that tomorrow will be better than today, Issei answered. The father smiled after hearing Issei's answer. You see, Issei, that's why I married your mother. Because she taught me, that life isn't only filled with fighting, battles, and war. That even with my bloody past is only history. Today is a present, while future is like the mystery gift that you receive every weekend at that restaurant, the father said, eliciting a laugh from Issei since he clearly knew what his father's talking about near the end. About the bloody thing and all of that, Issei didn't give any thought since he didn't understand it. Is that why you love Mom, Dad? Issei innocently asked. Yes, that's why I love your mother very dearly, a lot more than anything else in this world. But that doesn't mean that I don't love you, Issei. I love you very much. After all, you're the proof of our love. And also our beloved child. Thank you, Dad. Right then, I promise that when I grow up I'll find a girl like Mom, so that I'll also be as happy as Dad is. Issei said out loud. Ha 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 ha, look forward to it. Kiddo, ha 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 ha, the father laughed in reply. Back to the present, Issei was still staring at the girl. Looking again at the girl's eyes, he noticed that the sky blue orbs had the same kind of atmosphere that his mother had. Although right now it was being hidden behind fear and apprehension, he knew that behind it all lied the same warmness and kindness that he had seen in his mother. Resolving himself, he decided right then that he wanted to make the girl smile, no matter what. He then started to walk towards the girl slowly, so he wouldn't startle the girl. Hey, I've never seen you around here. What's your name? Issei asked awkwardly. My name is, the girl stuttered. Sorry, it must be rude of me to not introduce myself first. My name is Hyodo Dube Issei. Nice to meet you, Issei introduced himself, albeit still a bit awkward. My name is Valiana Liu, EH.L. Cipher. Nice to meet you too, the girl, Valiana, said. If Issei noticed that Valiana suddenly changed what she wanted to say, he didn't say anything about it. Hey, do you want to play tag with the other kids? Issei offered. Valiana said confused. Come on, just come with me already. It will be fun, I promise, Issei said while pulling her hand. Alright then, Issei, Valiana followed Issei. Geez, just call me Eyes, alright. Everyone calls me that. Oh okay, Eyes, Valiana said with small blush on her cheek. Now, come on, the others are waiting. Issei said, pulling Valiana with him. Opening square bracket ... Soon, since Issei managed to find someone to replace Rin, the other kids allowed him to play with them again. But of course, since Valiana was a girl, they couldn't be too rough on her, or any other girls for that matter. For the first time in forever since with her family, Valiana felt happiness, and hoped that somehow this would never end. Soon enough, 5 hours had passed and nearly all of the kids had left the park with their parents, leaving only Issei and Valiana around. Before they left though, they took a photo together using a Polaroid camera that one of the kids got from his parents. After that, the other kids made Issei and Valiana take a picture again, except this time it was just the two of them while they were holding hands. This was because they thought that since Issei was the one that invited a girl, moreover a pretty one at that, to their games, he should have the privilege of taking a picture together with her, much to their chagrin and blushing. Nay, Eyes, Valiana said. What is it, Anna-chan? Issei asked Valiana. Over the course of the tag, Issei started to call Valiana Anna-chan. His reason was that Valiana was too long to say, so he shortened it to Anna, resulting in another blush from Valiana. I wonder if we can still do this tomorrow, Anna sadly answered. Why not? You'll still be here tomorrow right, Anna-chan? Issei asked, confused with Anna's answer. Well, it's just, my grandfather won't approve of this. Ever since my parents were gone, he had been the one that took care of me. And he always says that I must not meet other people and play with kids my age. What kind of a grandpa is that? If he truly cares about you he should allow you to play. After all, it's not dangerous. And no, it's not that I'm afraid of other people, it's more like I'm scared of grandfather. If I disobey him, grandfather will become angry, and then he will punish me. I don't want to be punished, Anna said with tears now flowing from her eyes. Anna-chan. Don't cry, alright. I promise that I'll always protect you. And then you won't have to face your mean grandpa again, how about that? Promise? Anna asked while wiping tears from her eyes. I swear on my life, Issei said, bumping his fist to his chest. Oh, then this will surely be interesting, an unknown voice suddenly said out of nowhere. What was that voice? Issei thought. But without having any chance to think further he was suddenly hit by something in his stomach, resulting in him crashing into a nearby tree. Eyes. Anna cried in alarm. What happened? My back hurts, Issei thought. Boy, can you hear me? What the? Who said that? Issei frantically thought. Eyes. Are you alright? Anna ran to crouch beside Issei. Stop right there, my little disgrace. Or would you like that boy to disappear like your parents? A voice suddenly called Anna, who froze when she heard the voice. Turning her head towards the source of the voice, Anna's face morphed into one of terror and fear. Grandpa. Now, what did I tell you about calling me grandpa? I told you to call me Rizvam-sama, right, my little disgrace. Or do I have to punish you again before you understand, you little bitch? The now identified grandfather said. He looked like a middle-aged man, probably in his late 30s or early 40s, only a couple of years older than Issei's father, with long silver hair and a beard. He was also wearing some sort of weird attire which was silver in color. With his appearance, Issei found it quite difficult to believe that he was a grandfather of someone, not that He had any time to dwell on the matter now. Hey, why did you say that to Anna-chan? You're her grandpa, right? That's not nice. Issei angrily said. What a persistent boy. I've already kicked you with a portion of my power. And yet you still resist like a cockroach, quite commendable really, for a trash like you. Alright, because you're still going to die, boy, I'll tell you everything. My name is Reisvam Levon Lucifer. The son of the Mal Lucifer himself. And that little disgrace over there, is the horrible excuse of a granddaughter of mine. That imbecile son of mine, the proud and great devil. The descendant of Lucifer himself, dared to marry a woman, a human woman. What a joke. I truly relished it when I killed both of them, really slowly. Ah, the sound, the voice, the wailing, now that's ecstasy. Ha, Reisvam said. What? But, you said that mother and father disappeared, and so you took me in, but you actually killed them. Why? Anna asked, distraught by what she has just heard. Why? Look at me girl, look, Reisvam said while spreading hands. From his back sprouted 12 black leathery wings, like those of a bat. Look, the ultimate proof that I'm the true descendant of the Lucifer. Only a true descendant of the original Mao can have more than one pair of wings. And yet that imbecile dared to dirty this pure blood, this proud blood, by that of a lowly human. Utterly unacceptable. So that's why I killed that ex-son of mine, and your bitch of a mother too, Reisvam nonchalantly said. Why you? I hate you. Anna screamed as she charged Reisvam. Only to be kicked in the stomach. Goo. Anna-chan. Issei shouted as he saw Anna's body getting flung out to a nearby tree. Why did you do this? You are family, right? So why are you doing all of this? Issei asked while still trying to move his injured body. Why? Listen up, boy. Devils are beings that have to be evil, wicked, brutal, bad, scum, brutal, and vicious. Copying what's done by a hero. That is something that a just person would do. You know, beings like humans and angels. And what are we? You do know we are evil and bad existences, right? Then isn't it obvious what we have to do? Reisvam loudly said. Devil. Is that true? Does that mean Anna-chan is a devil too? Is she evil too? Issei's muttering, distressed. No. Don't listen to him, Eyes. I truly meant what I said before. I truly cherish the time when we were playing, and I really want to play with you again, Eyes. I'm truly grateful that you invited me to play with you. So please, Eyes, believe me. Anna pleaded. Yes, of course. Why should I doubt Anna-chan? She's my friend, and friends never doubt each other. Don't worry, Anna-chan. I'll always believe you, Issei replied. Eyes. Bleg. What the hell with all of this lovey-dovey crap? Alright, change of plans. I actually wanted to torture you first, boy, before I killed you in front of this little bitch. But you've already taken quite a bit of time from me, so I'll have to kill you now, Reisvam said while lifting his right hand, gathering his devil power. No. Anna-chan. Goo. Anna crumple. Ed over after she blocked Reisvam's attack intended for Issei. Anna-chan, are you alright? Issei frantically asked. I'm fine, Eyes, Anna replied. What is this? Just like your father. Getting in my way when I tried to kill your mother, and finally died together with her, pathetic. Fine then, though I already had plans for you, if you want to die with the boy, so be it. Just don't regret it, Reisvam said with a manic glint in his eyes as he gathered more demonic power than before in his right hand. Looking at the immense energy, Issei could only stay still hugging Anna's weak body, trying to protect her. Is this it? I finally found what I'm looking for. And yet, I can't protect her at all. Please, my body, move. I need power. I want more power. So be it, boy. I shall lend you my power. Hurrah! Dragon Divider, Issei shouted, along with a new unknown voice. From his back, Issei also sprouted wings like Reisvam, except he only had 2 pairs. One was a pair of metallic white-colored wings with transparent blue webbing, while the other was a pair of white scaly wings, like those of a dragon, with black and yellow patterns on the webbing. What the hell? Divine dividing and dragon wings. Are you fucking kidding me? This boy is both a dragonkin and the current Hakuryuko. Rizvam said, surprised by what he had seen. Lifting his right hand, Issei shouted again, half-dimension. Suddenly the amount of demonic power that Rizvam had, both the one in his right hand and in himself, drastically decreased. What the? Hurrah! Issei shouted at the top of his lungs as he charged and delivered a punch straight to Rizvam's solar plexus, throwing him to the far end of the park. I did it, Issei said before he fell unconscious to the ground. Eyes. Wake up, eyes, Anna cried out while frantically shaking Issei's body, trying to wake him up. Don't worry. He's just unconscious, a voice suddenly said. Who's there? Anna asked, startled and scared by the voice. She had enough with sudden and mysterious voices for today. Hey, is that a way to say hello to your uncle? A man then appeared. The man appeared to be quite tall, around 188 centimeters, and also young, maybe around 20s. He had average build, black hair with golden bangs, and black goatee. You Uncle Azazel. Yep, your beloved good ol' uncle. The now identified Azazel, the Governor-General of the Fallen Angels and the Grigori, said. Uncle. Anna cried as she hugged Azazel. There, everything's gonna be alright, okay. Azazel said as he patted Anna's head. Trying to calm her. Azazel, what are you doing here? Rizvam. Hey, looks like the boy has done quite a number on you, huh? Azazel said as he turned his head to look at Rizvam. Rizvam's attire now had been dirtied with grime and dust, with a tear here and there. There was also blood flowing from his midsection and his mouth. TCH, the boy's just lucky, that's all, Rizvam answered. Ha, maybe. But you know what you have to do now, right? Azazel suddenly turned serious as he narrowed his eyes at Rizvam. For a while, none of them spoke a word. Silently communicating with their eyes, until Rizvam relented. Fine. But remember, Azazel, I shall return for them, Rizvam said as he disappeared using a magic circle. And at that time, they'll be ready for you, Rizvam. Quote. Now, Valiana-chan, let's go home, alright. Azazel said to Anna. But, what about Issei? We can't just leave him there, Anna said. Don't worry about your little boyfriend, Azazel said. Resulting in Anna blushing madly. How about you come out now, Huff. You always know, Azazel. A man then came out from between the trees. He looked like he was in his late 20s to early 30s. He was quite tall, a bit taller than Azazel. He had a lean but muscular body. His hair was black with blonde strands. His eyes were like Issei, except that his left eye was the one that was black, while his right eye was gold-colored. So, it's truly you, PFFFT, ha 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 ha. Azazel suddenly erupted into an uncontrolled laughter. You uncle. What's wrong? Who is that man? Anna asked, confused with her uncle's outburst. Ha 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 ha, to think that you, PFFFT, the battle maniac, KHK, turned over a new leaf, married a human woman, and then had a son. Ha 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 ha. Oh, this is gold, Azazel continued to laugh while wiping fake tears. TCH. Alright, Azazel, please, stop it, the man said again. Alright, I'm sorry, PFFFT, Azaz. El wheezed while still recovering from his earlier outburst. Phew, to answer your questions, Valiana-chan. That man, is your future father-in-law, Azazel teased Anna, resulting in Anna blushing madly, again. Nice to meet you, Mr. Hyodo. Anna said to the now identified Issei's father, while still trying to control her blush. Ha ha ha, no need to call me Mr. Hyodo. Hyodo is my wife's maiden name. My name is Chrome Doob. You can call me Chrome, Valiana, or even Dad. What Azazel said is right, you're going to be my daughter-in-law after all, ha ha ha, Chrome said as he also teased Anna. Alright, Anna complied. Now already became redder than a tomato. But still, to think the evil dragon of evil dragons become a father. That's quite unbelievable, you know, Azazel said. Anna said, confused. Hey, I have my own reasons and circumstances, you know. That being said, what are you going to do now? Chrome asked. I intend to bring Valiana with me to the Fallen's territory. I'm going to train her, so she can survive on her own. What about the boy? At first I had hoped that he won't be exposed to the supernatural world until he was at least a teenager, but I guess that's just wishful thinking. The only thing I can do now is erase his memory, and hope that it will be at least 10 years before he's exposed again. I want him to at least have a normal childhood, you see. Besides, his mother will kill me if she finds out his son is exposed to the supernatural this early, Chrome continued in whisper, though no one paid that any mind. But, does that mean Eyes will forget me? Anna asked, scared that Issei would forget her. No, don't worry, I'll just modify his memory about meeting Reisvam. He'll still remember about you and playing with you. But, that means you can't see him anymore. At least not until he's exposed again to supernatural world, Chrome explained. I see, Anna said as she looked down. Hey, don't be sad. You both have a photo of both of you together, right? If you miss him, just look at the photo. I'm sure Issei will the same. To see my son take his first couple photo, time sure flies fast, huh, Chrome said. Why yes, you're right. If I miss Eyes, I can just look at the photo. Thank you, Mr. Chrome, Anna said gratefully. Alright, now that's done, let's go home, alright, Valiana. Azazel said. Why yes, Anna said as she stood beside Azazel. Black light started to envelop both of them. How about the training, Chrome? Surely, he can't stay like that, even if you seal his powers and the divine dividing, Azazel asked. Don't worry, there's a lot of ways to train someone without magic, you know. Besides, the seal will automatically break on his 18th birthday or if he's exposed to the supernatural world, Chrome answered. I see. Well then, see you next time, Chrome. Azazel said with a smirk. See you again, Mr. Chrome, Anna cheerfully said, though she still had some sadness in her eyes. After that, both of them disappeared in a blinding light. Now, to do something about my son, Chrome pondered as he walked to near his son. Have they left? Yes, they have left, Albion. Good, now we can talk about your son, my current partner. But still, I agree with Azazel, to think that the Crescent Circle Dragon married a human woman and become a father, moreover the father of the current Hakuryuko, that's what I'd either call fate, or a really bad joke. Albion chuckled, holding his laugh. Yeah, stop it. I don't want that said to my face again, alright. Chrome sighed. And Azazel's already bad enough, Chrome murmured. Ha, fine. Let's get back on topic. Okay, I'm sure you've heard the outline. I'll seal you, along with Issei's draconic power, until his 18th birthday or until he's somehow exposed to the supernatural world on his own. When the seal will break on its own. That's a good plan, except for one thing. What is it? When I first woke up, I lent your son my power, as you know. But, somehow, he accessed part of my powers that is supposed to be out of his reach. And that is, he used half dimension. Are you sure? Isn't that can only be accessed if the user is in balance breaker form? Yes, I am. Even I don't know what is the reason. I presume this is connected with your son Draconic's heritage, hence why he somehow can access more powers than my previous bearers. After all, none of them are half-dragon, or even have dragon blood in them. But this makes his young body receiving too much strain, moreover from what Reisvam has inflicted to him. Continual exposure towards magic and the supernatural I fear will endanger him, especially since he never as much as coming in touch with any of them before now. I see. How long do you think he needs? When I examined him, around 5 to 6 years, 10 years. Right before he matures, if we really want to be safe. That means he may be ready before his 18th birthday, Chrome said, thinking deeply. What should we do now? Albion asked. We change the plan a bit. If he is truly ready before his 18th birthday, then that is fate. We will change the condition of his memories returns into when he is physically and mentally ready towards the supernatural instead of the 10 years countdown, Chrome finally replied after thinking a bit. You already have some plans, don't you? Albion asked. Well, even if I'm now an ex-evil dragon, I'm still the Crescent Circle Dragon, right? So, of course, I have some cards in my sleeve, Chrome answered. Hey, then let's do this. Alright, I hope you're ready, Albion. See you again in around 10 years. Hopefully, Chrome said as he lifted his right hand, glowing with black and yellow power. Hey, looks like, my son's life is going to be so much interesting. He, I'll look forward for it, kiddo. Oh shit, how am I gonna explain this to Tomo? Oh man, I'm so screwed. White, and then red. White again, and then red again. White, red, the cycle kept continuing without end. As the vision zoomed out, the color suddenly changed. Both white and red turned into a pair of dragons. Flying above a desolate land, both of them were fighting with each other. Biting, clawing, exhaling fire. Wrestling with each other, both of them kept fighting until what seemed to be forever. As the scene of the fight became a bit tedious, it changed again. As opposed to earlier, the color that existed now was only white as far as the eyes could see. We will meet soon, partner, an unknown voice came out of nowhere. After the voice stopped talking, the vision was altered again. Now there was a girl, with silver long hair that reached her thighs, standing in the middle of the field of white. We will meet again soon, eyes. But before that, you must wake up, the girl spoke. And then, everything went dark. As soon as the dream ended, 17 years old Hyodo Dube Issei, second year at Kuo Academy, woke up in his bed. What the hell? What's that dream? Issei thought. Examining his clock, he saw a bright blue 001 staring back at him. God, it's still midnight, what happened? As soon as he finished that thought, Issei suddenly felt a pain in his head. Gah, what is this? Issei's mind screamed in pain. Along with the pain, he also saw some images in his mind. My name is Valiana Lu, EH.L. Cipher. Nice to meet you too. A silver-haired girl introducing herself. Anna-chan. Don't cry, alright. I promise that I'll always protect you, and then you won't have to face your mean grandpa again, how about that? His younger self, no more than 7. Promising to protect said girl. My name is Reisvam Levon Lucifer, the son of the Mel Lucifer himself. A silver-haired man, the girl's grandfather, appeared and admitted to being the cause of the girl's pain. Dragon Divider. 2 pair of wings, one metallic in nature while the other was more natural, burst out from his younger self's back. Half dimension. And the last image is his younger self charging towards the man, punching the man right at the solar plexus. After which he lost his consciousness. Those images, these memories, 10 years ago. Don't tell me, Issei's eyes widened. Moving his body from his bed, Issei went to his desk and picked up his phone. 10 years ago. Today is June 13th. 10 years ago must be also around that, which means. Anna-chan. Issei muttered, distressed. Yes, 10 years ago is exactly the day when I met Anna, and also the day when she returned with her relatives after were attacked by someone who intended to kidnap Anna. Wait, kidnap her? Does that mean Reisvam? Does that mean my memories are telling the truth? That devils, dragons, and the supernatural are real? Goddamn-it. Now all of this is really making me confused. Issei held his head. Overwhelmed by what he was thinking. Wait, calm down. Take a deep breath. Dad always said that a calm mind is a key in every battle. Issei took a deep breath as he calmed his mind. Once he managed to calm his mind, he picked something up from his desk. It appeared to be a photo of young Issei and a silver-haired girl, Anna, holding hands and blushing heavily, albeit still smiling. While looking at the camera. Anna. Now, what should I do? Well, I better do some exercise. It's too early for a jog, but Dad always says that doing exercise can help distract you. Now that I think about it, all this things about exercise and martial arts started 10 years ago, isn't it? Issei thought as he changed into his workout clothes and then lied on the floor, doing sit-ups. I guess I should just confront them directly. I mean, they are my parents, what's the worst that can happen? Note to self, do not tempt fate, Issei thought, and sweat dropped. As he went down the stairs of his house to have breakfast with his parents before he went to school. After Issei was done exercising, he continued to mull over his new memories until he realized one fact. Reisvam said that he was a dragon kin. That meant one of his parents must be sort of draconic in nature, probably. That explains why I have 2 pair of wings. The metallic one, I had a feeling. It doesn't have anything to do with my supposed dragon's heritage. The natural one, however, Issei contemplated. Reaching the dining room, Issei looked at his parents, still weighing his choices of whether to ask directly or not. Oh, Issei, did you get enough sleep? Chrome, Issei's father, asked as he read a newspaper. Why yeah, I slept long enough, Issei answered awkwardly as he sat at the table and ate his breakfast. Issei, are you sure? Your eyes look tired, are you sure you're not sick? Tomo, Issei's mother, also asked, concerned with her son's well-being. Tomo was a beautiful woman in her late 20s to early 30s, though she seemed to be younger than Chrome. She was quite tall for a woman, though she only reached Chrome's shoulder. She had red eyes and waist-length lilac-white hair that was let loose. Although her appearance was like that, she's a natural-born Japanese. Her appearance was caused by her apparent albinism. I'm fine, Mom, really, Issei lied. Really, Issei. If you're sick you can just stay at home today, you know, Tomo said again. Well, the thing is, Dad, are you a dragon? Issei bluntly asked. The only reaction that Issei received was just how his father tensed and a muttering of, he's ready, huh? Issei, Tomo said with wide eye, not believing that the day she feared the most had arrived. Sighing tiredly, Chrome said in serious tone, Issei, once you finish school, come home immediately. We have something to discuss. Okay. Anyway, I've finished. I'm gonna go to school now. Love you, Mom, Dad, Issei awkwardly said as he stood up from his chair and picked up his bag. Issei, you forgot your goodbye kiss, Tomo exclaimed. Oh, really? Yeah, I forgot. Issei then awkwardly kissed his mother's cheek, and then he was kissed also on the cheek. Geez, Mom, I'm not a kid anymore, Issei scrubbed his own cheek, embarrassed. Foo, you'll always be my little baby, Issei. Alright, be careful, don't be late. Tomo told Issei, albeit with a sad look. I won't. Issei replied as he went outside. Tomo sighed as she saw Issei's gone. Chrome, is Issei? Tomo said, worried about Issei. Yes, the probability is quite high. But don't worry. He won't be outright feeling other supernatural beings' presence and vice versa. We still have time to teach him how to control his powers. It seems that I have to go back to my old lair to get my equipment. Chrome said as he also stood up from his chair. I see, make sure you come home before dinner, okay? Or else, Tomo narrowed her eyes at Chrome, stopping just as he was about to go out. Chrome turned his head as he shivered. Of course, honey, the disguised dragon submitted, not wanting to experience what happened 10 years ago again. Sighing to himself in exhaustion, Issei continued to walk. From their reaction, looks like I'm right. Dad is a dragon, huh? What does that make me? Half dragon. Is this even what a 17-year-old should think? It's almost like I experienced those so-called second-grader syndrome, Issei thought as he walked in slow pace towards Kuo Academy. As Issei arrived at the school gate, he's surprised by what he saw. And what surprised is, Seimost was currently standing in front of the school gate, watching over the students who came through it. This feeling, it's similar to Reisvam, Issei thought, surprised by what he felt. Hyodo, what are you doing just standing there? You're hindering other students, Shitori Sona, the bespectacled student council president, reprimanded him. She had black hair in short bob cut with violet eyes. Snapped out from his daze. Issei quickly answered, apologies, Shitori-senpai. After that, he quickly went to his classroom, ignoring his feeling of trepidation. Even after the class had begun, Issei was still continuing to think about what he had seen this morning. So, Shitori-senpai is a devil. Wait, Shitori. That is Citri, one of the 72 demons of Ars Godia. Wait, isn't there also one Rias Grimoire on the same grade as her? Grimoire is also from the Ars Godia. Don't say that. Issei finally understood why his father kept telling him that learning about demonology would help him greatly. In caution, Issei slowly used this newfound sense of him to cover the whole school while still trying to not be noticed. In the end, he found out that the whole school was covered by Devil's Energy's signature. 1, 2, 3, so many. As Issei thought over this newfound fact, he realized, man, this sucks. Can't I just skip today? What the hell? What should I do now? Issei sighed as he asked himself for the 1000th time. Looking outside from the class through the window that was on his desk's left side, Issei continued to contemplate on what he had found out earlier that day. So many devils. I just hope that none of them found out what I am, or I will be dead in any moment. Oh wait, how can I be sure that all of them are like Rizvam, and none of them are like Anna? Who am I kidding? The possibility is just too high to ignore. Sighing again, Issei turned his head to look around his class. It's lunchtime at the moment, so the amount of the students that were in the class was quite small. I just hope that school will end fast, so I can go home much sooner. Finally. Thank God that I managed to act normal all day. Don't them to be suspicious of me. At least until I understand all of this, after all. I just hope that Dad and Mom can explain all of things to me, Issei thought as he walked on the street towards his home. Opening the front door, Issei said loudly. I'm home. Good afternoon, Issei. Go take a bath first, we'll have a dinner once your father has returned, Tomo said from the kitchen. Okay, Mom, Issei replied as he went to his room. After he took his bath, Issei went downstairs only to see his father was being treated by his mother. All of his thoughts about confronting his father gone from his mind. What happened? Issei asked. No, don't worry. I just got into some scuffles with my friends back at my hometown, Chrome tried to ease Issei's worry while chuckling. Hometown? You mean, Ireland? Issei put up a confused expression. Yeah, I got something to do back home, so I have to come back, Chrome explained. Wait, you went to Ireland this morning, and then went back tonight. I don't know if there's something wrong with me, but I'm sure as hell that that's impossible. Especially since we don't have a private jet, Issei narrowed his eyes as he crossed his arms. Realizing his slip, Chrome tried to come up with something as a rebuttal. We do have a private jet. Only to fail miserably and received a raised eyebrow that not unlike his wife's. Sighing in surrender, Chrome looked at his wife for help. No, dear, I can't help you now. You are the one who slipped, so you have to bear the responsibility. Now, I'll leave both of you here to talk this out while I prepare the table, alright? Tomo said as she went to the dining room. Dad? Issei asked again, his eyebrows still raised. Goo, curse me in my mouth, Chrome muttered as he tried to come up with an explanation. Ow, I'm not good at this kind of thing. Let's just settle it like this. After dinner, come with me to my study, Issei. I'll explain everything there, Chrome said with a weary tone. You better explain everything, old man, Issei replied, not knowing how truthful his statement was. After the dinner, Issei followed his father to his study. He usually wasn't permitted to enter his father's study. Except when his father occasionally gave him books to read, and even then, it was only a glimpse. So, he was quite surprised to find shelves of books lining the walls. Pulling some books from the shelves, Chrome then threw them to Issei, who catch them. Read them, Chrome ordered. What? You hear me? Oh okay. Examining the books, Issei noticed that they are books about various mythologies around the world. One book for each of the really popular mythologies like Greek, Japanese, Norse, Hindu, Egypt, Celtic, and one more book about lesser-known mythologies. There are also 3 books explaining about the Christian mythologies. The last book was the thickest and heaviest. Its cover, unlike the others which were just like plain normal encyclopedia, except that there seemed to be more sophisticated, was made using some foreign leather, with a black and yellow colored dragon image burned to it. Its title was written in a language which is foreign to Issei, and yet he could read it just fine. The title was read, Encyclopedia Draconica, and below it was written, owned by the Crescent Circle Dragon. Crescent Circle Dragon? Who is it? Wait, don't tell me my father is. Dad, does this mean you really are a dragon? Issei looked up from the book to look at his father. Ha, I knew you can read the words. This means you are a true dragon. Chrome laughed. Wait, are you saying that I am also a dragon? Issei asked disbelievingly. Well, not a full-blooded dragon, more like a half-dragon, though I know that you have figured that out already. But if we were to ignore the technicality, yes, Issei, you are a dragon, since even half-breeds are as strong as pure-blooded ones and still immortal, albeit you're still a really young one, Chrome answered. Half. Then. Mom is not a. No, your mother is a human, though she is not an ordinary human, Chrome explained. Then who is she? Issei asked. All in good time, kiddo. All in good time. Now, just read one of those books for tonight. Continue for tomorrow night and the next nights too, one book for each night until you're done. And then you will understand, Chrome said. Okay. But I guess I will start with this one. Issei lifted Encyclopedia Draconica with his right hand while holding the other books with his left one. Now that's a good choice. Look like you're truly my son. Go on then. You can read it here. I will try to answer any questions you have, Chrome said as he leaned on one of the shelves. Nodding, Issei sat in the nearby desk and started reading the book. Far into the night, past midnight or so, Issei managed to finish the book. Putting the book down on the table, Issei looked at his father with an uncertain stare. So you are. You actually are. I am a. Issei stuttered as he didn't know what to say. An evil dragon. Yeah, I am. Well, to be exact, I'm an ex-evil dragon, but that doesn't mean anything, right? After all, I was evil, Chrome answered with wistful smile. Issei still stuttered. Drawing a deep breath, Issei composed himself and calmly asked, why? Why? Now that's the question, isn't it? The answer is quite simple. I met your mother. I met her all those years ago when I was roaming the world after Balor's death. At first, I thought she was just like any other human female, maybe a little more than normal, but still the same. But then, it happened. I fall in love with her. And she with me. We then had you. Of course, I always had the choice to just leave, but somehow, I just don't want to. I somehow knew that she is the one for me. So, I decided to settle down with your mother, erasing any traces of my existence and choosing to live here in your mother's birth country, Chrome R. E counted the past with a nostalgic smile. Do you regret it? Mating with, marrying a human female? Issei asked again, still fixing his stare at Chrome. No, not in a million years, or in forever, in that matter, Chrome replied. But, Mom is mortal, she will be gone one day. And then you will be all alone as a dragon can only have one mate in his whole life, Issei said with both sad and confused expression. Well, haven't you read the book? Do you forget about the soul bond? Chrome now the one who asked Issei. Yes, I have. It means wait, are you saying that? Issei asked with a disbelieving expression. Of course I established a soul bond with your mother. I finally found someone who I loved dearly, do you think that I will let her go so easily? Chrome answered with a haughty expression. Wait. Doesn't soul bond mean that if one dies, the other one will also die? Peef, as if I will make things as impractical as that. Even if I'm no longer an evil dragon. Back when I was one I was called the strongest evil dragon, you know. Do you really think I will let something like that kills me? Well, what did you do then? I modified it, of course. Rather than one die when another die. I made it so that your mother will only die when I die. So, don't worry, your mother will still be with us for a really long time. And, before you ask, your mother will stay young, after all. Dragons are being of pure life force, meaning that we can't die, only reincarnate after some time, so your mother won't age because of running out of life force anytime soon. I see. Wow, you really thought out all of it, huh, Dad? Issei was amazed by his father. I may be a battle maniac, but I'm not stupid, you know. On a side note though, your mother was not really accepting of the idea at first. So, I had to use you to blackmail your mother until she agreed to the soul bond, but I don't think she regrets the decision, Chrome smirked. You really love Mom, don't you, Dad? Just who is Mom? Really? You're damn right, son. About who your mother is, now is not the right time for you to know. You have finished the book, right? Now go to sleep, don't want you to be late for school, do we? Oh, and take the Encyclopedia Draconica with you, it belongs to you now for you to keep and add to it. Okay, I also need time to digest all of these things, anyway, Issei stood up from the desk. Carrying the book, and went to the door. Oh yeah, Dad, is it about the devils at your school? Yeah. What should I do? Nah, don't worry about them. They're the peaceful lots. As long as you don't bother them, they won't bother you. Not all devils are like Rizvam, you know. Quote! Issei went wide-eyed at the name. Don't worry, son. Once I'm done with you, you will kick his ass back to Kingdom Come, Chrome joked with a grin. Something tells me this will be much harder than what you're subjecting me to right now. Well, looking forward for it then, Dad, Issei answered. Also with a grin. Hey, good night, son. Good night to you too, Dad. Issei looked back at his father while opening the door. Arriving at his room, there's only one thing in Issei's thoughts. I must become stronger. Phew, I finally finished Dad's training, Issei thought as he trudged his way to the school weekly. After that night with his father, Issei continued to read the books every night. And after 3 weeks, managed to finish all of them. It's not like his reading speed was slow, it's just that the day after he finished a book, his father would ask him some questions and discuss some subjects with him about the book he just read, in order to make sure he memorized and understood the knowledge from the book. It showed that the elder dragon wasn't just some dumb muscle head. He wasn't book smart, but at least he could think on his toes. So far, it's not a bad thing. Issei managed to get some information that might give him some advantage if in case he had to fight against another supernatural being. After that though, he was given 1 week time by his father to prepare himself for training from Chrome. What? Training? Issei asked dumbly. He just finished the discussion about the last book last night. He didn't expect that he would just continue straight to the Spartan level training. Yes, Issei. It is time for upgrading your training, Chrome. He answered patiently while drinking his tea. I see, Issei continued before taking a deep breath. Alright, I'm ready. When do we start? Tonight? Nope, not yet. I still have to prepare some things. Maybe, the day after tomorrow. In the meantime, I expect you to prepare yourself, because this time will be so very different than before, Chrome said that with a really scary grin, like a predator watching its prey. It was at that time that Issei finally believed that his father used to be an evil dragon. Gulping, Issei affirmed his will and then also grinned. Well, bring it on, then. But still, as good as the training is, it is still 2 full months of hell. I even still can't feel my left side of the hip. Issei lamented in his heart. Oh well, I am positively stronger than before now though. Dad might be not proficient in magic, but he covers it with his skillful fighting style that he created over his years of continual battle. Moreover, Dad gave that to me. Yeah, its power is sealed, but still. To think that Dad has something like that. Alright, that's it for today, Chrome signaled for Issei to stop. Falling and then lying on the ground exhausted, Issei spoke, huff, huff, why stop now? Usually we will stop much later. Oh, do you still want to continue? Chrome taunted with a hungry grin on his face. Realizing that he just dug his own grave, again, Issei just shut his mouth. Ha ha ha, relax, I'm just kidding. In fact, today is the last day of your training. I think you now can take care of yourself. After all, a whelp can't always be guided all his life, Chrome said. The grin before now was just a proud smile. Issei just stayed silent at that, knowing that if he said something, it might end up deepening his grave. Oh well, stand up. I have a gift for you, Chrome said while putting his right hand inside his pocket dimension. Standing up, Issei just stared at his father. Pocket dimension was just one of many skills of the dragon race. Because dragon was a race of arcane creatures. So of course they had magic skill such as this. Pulling his hand from the pocket dimension, what Chrome had in his hand was a long spear. The length was around 2.5 meters. And both of its shaft and its head are colored white, with blue and yellow patterns on it. Dad, what is that? Issei asked dumbfoundedly. Be honored, my son. For what you see in front of you now is Brianak. The spear that Luff himself used to kill Balur. Chrome proudly announced. What? But how? Well, you know about my past. After that shining brat, damn that kid, killed the old fart. I might or might not had silently taken the spear out of the old fart's body without anyone knowing and then ran away. Besides, no one actually realized that I had taken the spear. Everyone was too absorbed in praising the shining brat's victory, so it's fine if I took it, right? Chrome said with that signature grin of his again. And this is your gift for me. Brianak, Issei asked, still not believing all of this. HMPH, do you think I will just give Brianak to you as it is? Of course, I have tweaked it a bit. Currently, it isn't as strong as its original state since I have sealed its power. So you will have to be stronger in order to break the seals one by one, Chrome said, throwing the spear to Issei. TCH, figures. Well, fortunately I like to use spears more than Swords, Issei said while opening his hand. With his training so far, catching the long spear was an easy feat for him. But still, only use that as a last resort, okay. We don't want you swinging around a 2 meters long weapon of mass destruction around the neighborhood, do we? Chrome joked. Yeah, I understand, Issei replied as he put Brianak into his pocket dimension. Continuing to walk towards the school gate, Issei didn't notice the crowd that was gathering in front of him until he bumped to Motohama and Matsuda. Ow, oi, Issei, watch where you are walking, will you? Motohama said, fixing his glasses irritably. Sorry, guys, I just don't have too much sleep lately. Ha. Issei laughed nervously at the end of the statement. TCH, you probably just watch videos until past midnight, right? Just say so, Issei. We understand, Matsuda said while nodding sagely. Sighing, Issei just decided to go with the harmless assumption, yeah, whatever you guys said. And both of them just accepted it like that, turning back to once again saw whatever it was that occupied their attention before. So, what's going on, really? Issei asked, curious on the reason. Why a crowd gathered in front of school. What, you don't know? Okay, you have to see this. Only then you will know true magnificence. Both of Matsuda and Motohama said as they pulled Issei to the front of the crowd. There, walking to the school entrance were two persons that were acknowledged as the two queens of Kuo. One is Himehime Akino, with long lustrous black hair, pale skin, calm demeanor, and ever-present smile. It's no wonder she's called as Yamato Nadeshiko by other students at Kuo. Her amazing proportions also didn't help others from looking away for her at the corridors. If Akino was a true Eastern beauty, then Rias Grimori could also be said as a fine example of a true Western beauty. Long red hair reaching her hips, pale skin, sparkling blue eyes, elegant and refined movements. Moreover, with the rumors of her noble background, the title, Queen, wasn't just a mere title anymore. But still, though Issei admitted that they're beautiful and all, he wasn't that enamored with them. After all, he already had that special someone in his heart. In fact, seeing them only reinforcing his will to become stronger for her and also bringing him a sense of longing, along with a sense of foreboding. Both of them were devils, after all. I wonder what are you doing right now, Anna? If at that time, I've been really strong, would you still have to go? No matter. What's past is past. Right now, I only need to make myself stronger, and then, we will surely meet again, Issei thought as he clenched his fist. Turning his body, he left the crowd as he strode silently into the school ahead of the others. Though that action was still noticed by the two queens. Era, it seems there is still someone who can resist our charms, Bushu, Akino whispered to Rias. Yeah, and to think that it is a male. Very interesting. Akino, do you mind if I ask you to investigate his background a bit? I have a hunch we might found something interesting, Rias asked Akino. Yufufu, don't worry, Bushu. I think I might share your sentiment towards that boy too, Akino giggled. I see. I expect it to be finished before we do our duty tonight then, Akino. Yes, Bushu. All right. That's it for the day. Issei thought as he picked up his bag and came out from the school. I managed to improve my physical abilities through training, but I still don't think this is enough. I should continue training once I got home, Issei continued his thought as he walked his way home. Suddenly, as if he's under someone's influence, he deviated from his way and went to an abandoned manor. When he realized what had happened, he had already taken a step inside the manor. Wait, what am I doing here? Issei thought as he regained his senses. As he turned back towards the manor's entrance, the doors suddenly closed. From the shadow of the abandoned building, an alluring voice sounded out. Yufufu, this is the first time that someone managed to wake up earlier. But no need to worry, just come here. And I will show you something that will greatly please you. Once again, as if under someone's influence, Issei suspected it's the voice. He walked towards the source. Yes, come here, dear. I'm sure you'll be very pleased by what I am about to show you. Shit, what the hell is going on? Wait, I've read this before. Devils used to use magic to seduce and consume their victims. But that should have been outlawed long ago. Don't tell me I'm going to be its dinner. Issei frantically thought, somehow managed to retain his consciousness this time. Oi! After a while, Issei finally managed to see the source of the seducing voice. To say it was ugly would be the same as calling an 80-years-old grandma as beautiful as a supermodel. What Issei saw was so grotesque that he actually glad that his father managed to drill some mental fortitudes into his basics. Although the main body was those of a beautiful woman, Issei wouldn't comment on how she was naked. But it's not like he paid that any mind. Issei's main focus was the big pairs of claws that the woman had that functioned as her legs. All in all, she looked like one big centaur-like monster that seemed eager to eat him as a dinner. Boy, oh shit, I'm actually glad that I haven't eaten dinner yet. I don't know if my stomach can handle all of whatever that thing is, devil or not. Issei blanched. Boy, and now that voice that I keep hearing is also getting louder. Wait, voice, is this related to that thing that Dad said to dwell inside of me? Boy, you foo-foo, don't put up such a pent-up expression, my dear. I assure you, this will end very soon, and you surely will experience euphoria from it, the half-woman half-devil said. Euphoria, my ass. I would rather run away. Or at least stuck that claws of yours into any of your holes I can reach, if you have any. That is, Issei sarcastically thought. Now, let's begin, shall we? Bon appetit, it said as it drooled. Oh, fuck me. Boy. Suddenly Issei could move his limbs. His training quickly took over and he managed to dodge the devil's jaws by a hair-breadth. Okay, what happened? Why can I suddenly move? Issei asked himself. Boy, quickly, summon me. Closing square bracket. That voice again, why does it feel so familiar? Goo, miss. But no matter, this time you will end up in my gut. Take this. The devil then swung her claws towards Issei. Oh god. Here she goes again, Issei thought as he jumped quickly to escape the claws. Come on, boy. If you don't want to die, call my name. Call me. This voice. Just what am I supposed to do? Issei thought as he frantically dodged every strike from the devil. TCH, you may be fast, but you can't dodge forever, human. Die now. The devil swung her claws again, this time they're imbued with magic. Oh shit. Guess this is it. Boy. Goo, the voice again. Goddammit, fine. His name is Albion. Issei shouted at the top of his lungs. Dragon Divider. A pair of blue wings appeared from Issei's back and lifted him up into the sky. It looked like dragon's wings. The webbings were blue-colored and seemed to be made of energy while the frame was white-colored and adorned with yellow spikes. This feeling. It's just like that time 10 years ago. Issei thought in surprise. Hey, miss me, boy. This voice, I recognize it now. It's the same as the one from 10 years ago back. Looks like you still remember me, boy, though 10 years have passed. Your name is Albion, right? Does that mean yes, you're this generation Hakuryuko. But we will talk about that topic later. For now, focus on the enemy in front of you. Alright, now that I got a chance to fight back. Be careful. It is a devil, albeit a stray one. Do not underestimate it. I see. Now let's see what we can do, Albion. Yes, boy, no, Issei. Let's go. Issei dived directly towards the stray devil. Hey, you must be suicidal, the stray devil chuckled as it once again swung its claws at Issei's direction, only for Issei to dodge it more easily than before. Now that Issei had divine dividing, he could even maneuver in air. As he dodged the stray's attack, his hand touched the stray devil for a short time, activating Issei's Sacred Gear's ability. Divide. This is. The stray exclaimed as it could feel its power decreasing. As Issei concentrated, he dodged the stray's increasingly more aggressive attacks while keep decreasing its power through divide. It seemed the devil had somehow sensed that Issei was now too dangerous for it to face and so intended to end this as soon as possible. Steady, now. Issei then punched the stray devil at its face with all of his might. Gah, it hasn't ended yet. Issei then quickly followed with a kick, imbued with his draconic magic. Hey, Issei, isn't it time to use your spear now? Albion suddenly said. You mean Brianak? How do you know about it? I live within you. How can I not know things like this? I see. Here we go then. Issei pulled Brianak from his pocket dimension. Now try channeling your power into it. By how you finally managed to unlock me, you should be able to at least break one seal now. Okay. Channeling his draconic magic into the spear, Issei tried to break the first seal by overloading it with his magic. Of course, the stray devil didn't just stand there doing nothing. Seeing a chance, it quickly sent out another barrage of attacks towards Issei, only to be dodged. Oi, I'm not so stupid to just stand still while preparing my weapon when fighting, alright. Issei said. But you sure act like one, Issei. Ah, whose side are you on, Albion? Just pointing out some facts. You clearly inherited that from your father. Goo, whatever. Here we go. Hurrah. Continuing to overload Brianak's first seal, Issei finally managed to break it. In an instant, Brianak's appearance changed. Its spearhead changed from its initial appearance into one that was longer, thinner, split into two uneven parts, and had serrated edges from the spearhead until the shaft part that was close to the head. Damn, that's cool. I wonder what the perfect Brianak look like. Issei. I know. Let's end this already. It's nice seeing you, Ms. Stray Devil. But sadly, our path has to diverge here, Issei said as he once again gathered his magic into the spear. Wah. The Stray Devil said in confusion, at the same time noticing the building magic power inside the spear. Shit. Too late. Let's do this, Albion. Take this. Sa-ban. Issei shouted as he threw the spear with all of his might at the stray devil who was trying to escape. The spear went through the stray devil, somehow emitting a bright light in the process, making a small crater and cracks on the floor. Meanwhile, the stray devil's corpse had somehow evaporated from the intense light. Damn, I know that since Luff is the god of light, Brianak should carry similar properties, and Hat Devils as creature of darkness should have some weakness against light, though not as much as against holy property, but this is ridiculous. To the extent of evaporating the corpse. Issei, not to burst your bubble or anything. But there are some unknown magical signatures coming here, though I believe that they seem to be devils from their presence. There are 4 of them, I believe. I suggest we get away now before getting ourselves into another mess. I see. Yeah, I agree. Better to call it quit now. Issei quickly landed, called off Divine Divider, grabbed Brianak, stored it, and then quickly run away from the manor. As Issei left the manor, the silhouette of someone could be seen from one of the dark alleys not far from there. Damn it, kiddo. It told you to be careful in using Brianak, but no. You just had to create something could almost be categorized as a mini-sun and then flaunting all of your powers in the process. TCH, be glad that I'm at least here so I could make a barrier to restrict all of your magical power. Oh well, let's just erase the magical residue. My son has just killed his first prey, after all. It's something to be celebrated. I just hope that Tomo won't get any gist of this. Chrome muttered in annoyance. He then teleported into the manor, waved his hand in order to erase Issei's magical residue in it, and then teleported back into his home. Not long after Chrome left, 4 shadows could be seen to be landing at the abandoned manor. Once they landed, they hid their bat-like wings, showing that they're devils. Huff, we've finally arrived. Why? We suddenly can't teleport near the manor. The one who seemed to be leader of the group said. From the voice, they seemed to be a female. Era, looks like we can somehow use our teleportation magic. Again, another voice said in a playful tone. This one also seemed to be female. What? Really? What actually happened here? The leader asked to herself as she held her head. A magic circle then appeared right beside her ear. Hello. Yes, we're at the location right now. Okay. Nothing's wrong. Alright, you're welcome, the leader suddenly exclaimed in loud voice. What is it, Bushu? A different voice, this time seemed to be male in nature, asked his leader. Huff, the Archduke has just called. He said that the stray devil has been eliminated and then thanked us for it. Era, but we haven't even done anything yet. That's also what I'm thinking, Akino. Then there's someone else who killed it, a new voice, this time also a female, though a bit younger compared to the other 2. Said, you're right, Kaneko. And we have to find who is it. If they're friendly, then there's no problem, but if they're somehow hostile, we might get ourselves into a big mess. So much for celebration, Issei groaned tiredly as he once again walked the way to school. You know your mother is just worried about you, right? Besides, I agree with her. That right now Brianak is too much for you to handle. I think confiscating it for now is the right decision. I know, it's my first kill, you know. Dad always said that a dragon's first key. LL is their first step towards adulthood. I suppose I just want it to be memorable. I think having a big dinner with your family is quite memorable. You have a family who cares so much about you, Issei. There are others out there who might be not as fortunate as you. Issei instantly reminded of Anna. Yeah, you're right, Albion. I guess I should be glad for what I have right now. Issei absent-mindedly thought as he continued to walk, until he saw a nun tripped on the road, with her panties fully shown to the world by how her dress had fallen. Issei, I don't see anything, I swear, Issei answered frantically as he covered his eyes with both of his hands. If he had to admit, he might be a bit perverted and had sort of a big breast fetish, but that didn't mean that he's willing to be as far as taking advantage of another person like this. It's just plain rude and disrespectful, not to mention a bit creepy. Ooh, I'm such a klutz. I can't believe I fell down again. The nun said as she got up and tidied her dress. Only after Issei was sure that the nun's dress was now proper that he uncovered his eyes. Is that Italian? Yes, it's not uncommon that those who are affiliated with the church are speaking Italian or Latin. Better be a bit careful, Issei. Issei grunted in confirmation. Hey, are you alright? Issei asked as he decided to help her by offering his hand. Oh, yes, I'm alright, the nun answered as she took Issei's hand up and pulled herself up. Did you speak Italian? The nun asked. Oh, yeah, my father taught me. Oh, where's my manner? My name is Ossia Argento. Nice to meet you, My name is Issei, Hyodo Dube Issei. Nice to meet you too. Actually, I'm a bit lost, can you help me out, Issei-san? Well, sure, why not? Where do you need to go? Do you know where the church is? I'm assigned to the one in this town. Church. The only church here is the one near the forest, but it has been abandoned years ago. Why did the church only send a nun again now of all times? Suspicious, Issei thought. I know where it is. Come, let me show you, Issei said as Asia began to follow him. Along the way to the church, they stumbled upon a crying boy whose knee scraped pretty badly. Going over to the boy, Asia's hands hovered over the boy's wounded knee and glowed a green light. Don't cry, little one, you're going to be fine, Asia said gently to the boy. As the light subsided, the boy's knee had already healed. Almost as if there's no wound in the first place. The boy looked amazed as he saw his wound vanish in front of his eyes. Issei, meanwhile, had another feeling altogether. Albion, that is. Yes, that's a sacred gear. That's the twilight healing, if I'm not wrong. There you go. It's all better now. So don't cry, okay? Asia smiled at the boy. Once Asia returned to where Issei was, she noticed that Issei was staring at her, forming an expression that seemed to say, please don't ask. Asia just stared back at Issei. Well, shall we continue our walk? Issei asked, choosing to be ignorant of what he had just seen. Yes, Asia stuttered, surprised by Issei's lack of surprises and questions. Why didn't you tell her that you know about sacred gear? Albion asked. A nun with a sacred gear suddenly comes and serves a church that has been abandoned since years ago, don't you think that's too suspicious? Issei explained. Do you think she's dangerous? No, not her. It's those that behind her being sent here that I'm worried about. A church that has been abandoned is used after such a long time. This is a fallen angel's scheme, no matter how you see it. So, you think she's an excommunicated nun? Yeah, if I remember correctly, twilight healing Issei's sacred gear that is capable of healing any being, including devils and fallen angels. There's a chance that she accidentally healed a devil or fallen angel without she knew about it, hence the reason for her excommunication. I see. I assume you're going to use the spells that your father has taught you. Yeah, in fact, I have already used it when she took my hand back when I helped her. I didn't know whether it's a necessary or not, but I see that's the right decision now. I can see the church. Thank you for escorting me, Issei-san. Asia shouted as she saw the shape of the abandoned church, snapping Issei out of his conversation with Albion. Ah, yeah. Is it fine if I leave you now? I still have school, Issei said apologetically. Oh, although I want to invite you in first for a tea, Asia said sadly. It's fine. Maybe sometimes, Issei said. All right. It's a promise then, Asia exclaimed happily. Okay, see you later, Asia, Issei waved his hand. Do you intend to fulfill that promise? Albion asked as Issei walked to his home after he got out of school. Of course, why not? True, fallen angels might attack me, but I've learned how to suppress my magic signature. And even if they attack, albeit Brianak is confiscated for the moment, I can still use enhancement magic that Dad taught me, Issei replied. That's true. As they walked through the neighborhood, Issei suddenly stopped as he walked near to one of the house. Albion, this smell is. Opening square bracket ... Blood. Running quickly to the source of the smell, Issei passed through a barrier situated around a house. What the? Barrier. Issei. The door is opened. Better tread carefully, Albion warned Issei in his mind. Heeding the warning, Issei tensed and walked slowly into the house. As he got into the living room, he saw a mangled corpse of a man crucified to a wall. Surprised, but not panicked, Issei instantly calmed his mind and focused his attention to his surroundings. Inhale, exhale, repeat. Do not panic. Just do it like when I trained with Dad, Issei thought as he inspected the room for any clues to what might have happened. Impressive. A normal being might have retched out his intestine when he saw this sight. Pray tell, who are you? I saw you notice the barrier, meaning that you can sense magic, but I'm not really sure from what race you are. How about you be a kind boy and tell me? Will ya? A voice sounded out from the shadows. As the voice's owner stepped out, Issei could see a white-haired man wearing what appeared to be priest's clothes, a crazed expression on his face. This is bad. I can see that he is dangerous, and I still know nothing about what actually happened. Better stall some time, Issei thought. Well, I'm a human if it's not obvious. Though if we were talk about faction, then you can say I belong with the fallen faction, Issei decided to act nonchalantly. Really? How so? The white-haired man asked, interested. Well, I'm not really part of the faction, if that's what you're asking. It's just that Azazel once saved my life from a devil. Saved from a devil? Ah, you must be that one guy that those bitches are ordered to protect then. I wonder why. Azazel ordered those bitches to protect humans such as you. You might be conscious to the supernatural, but I don't see any reason why Azazel might want to protect you. Even if you say that, I also don't know why the governor of the Grigori wants to protect me, Issei lied. The truth was he did have an idea on why Azazel might want to protect him, probably because of a certain silver-haired devil. But the man opposite of him didn't need to know that. I see. Well, I think it's enough for the pleasantries, don't you think? Really? Won't you have problems if the higher-ups know? You know what they said, no corpses, no murder. Ah, ha, ha, ha. The man cackled before suddenly charging at Issei, pulling a sword handle that turned into light sword and a gun. Issei. Yeah, I know, Issei thought as he dodged the attack. Kruba, Issei whispered as his magic circle appeared and his mana covered his hands, forming claws made of white and black colored energy. He then retaliated against the man using his claws, surprising the stray exorcist. Now that's something you don't see every day. Alright, now I'm convinced you're not a part of the three factions, but you also don't belong with humans. What are you really? The priest asked as he broke out of the scuffle. Well, I can't tell you that now, can I? But just so you know, I'm half human, Issei answered. Really? Well, no matter. You'll still die anyway. By the hands of Fried Selzen. The mad priest shouted as he let loose a barrage of blessed bullets at Issei. Shit, Issei thought as he frantically dodged the bullets and parried the bullets that he couldn't dodge. Yet, a stray bullet managed to hit Issei at his shoulder. Expecting some pain, Issei surprised when he saw only his clothes that were shredded. And a bruise formed on where he was shot. Even Fried showed a dumbfounded expression on what had just transpired. Albion, what happened? I don't know, Issei. True, if it's a normal bullet, it will only leave a bruise due to how strong Dragon's skin is, but this is a blessed bullet. Maybe, Albion didn't finish his words as the stray priest spoke again. Interesting, apparently my bullets don't work on you. I wonder why. Fried said out loud with an intrigued expression and tilted head. Well, now what? Want to continue this? Issei said as he got into his fighting stance again. Nah. Even I know that I'm at a disadvantage right now, Fried nonchalantly said with another mad grin on his face. A magic circle then appeared beneath his feet, no doubt for his escape. Issei. Albion said. I know, Issei replied. Don't you dare run away, you damned priest. Issei shouted as he tried to grab the stray priest. See you again for another time, rare kind. Since I really want to be the one to take your head. Ha. Fried then disappeared with a mad laugh as Issei went past him. Shit. Issei, what is our next move? Albion asked. I think we should return to Dad first. I have some idea on what's going on. But I want to hear Dad's thoughts first on all of this, Issei answered. With that settled, he quickly left the place after erasing his traces, not noticing a red-colored magic circle that appeared as he left. It all began with a shout. What in hell do you mean that our son has to go? They're alone. Tomo shouted at her husband. Issei, your mother is scary. Albion said to Issei in the latter's mind. Well, she is a mother. I think scary is in their job description, Issei said back. But this has been going on for 2 days, Albion's sweat dropped. Well, we certainly can't do anything unless Dad and Mom reach a compromise, Issei replied. I told you, Tomo, it's dragons' tradition to let their hatchlings experience the world themselves. We, as parents, may be able to prepare him as much as we can, but we can't give him any help directly in his journey, Chrome patiently said to his wife. But he's our son, Chrome. Damn it, what if he is hurt? Tomo shouted again as fire could be seen in her eyes and on her arms as her anger increased. Whoa, all this while, I thought I was hallucinating when I saw Mom's arms on fire when she's angry. Looks like I wasn't, Issei thought as he saw the fire on his mother's arms increased in intensity. Issei, just who is your mother? Albion asked. I also want to know, Albion, Issei replied as EY both watched. The argument only became worse. Deciding to end it, Issei opened his mouth. Don't worry about me, Mom. I will be fine, Issei said, causing his mother's fiery stares to move to him. Issei. I don't think that's a wise decision, Albion said. Stepping closer to his son, Tomo then grabbed Issei's shoulders so tight that somehow it hurt his dragon's physique. Ow, don't worry, Mom. I won't get hurt, Issei repeated to calm his mother down. Are you sure? Can you really promise me that you won't even get a single scratch? Tomo asked with slightly teary eyes. Well, maybe not exactly scratch less. But I will be fine, I promise, Issei said again. Arg, you two are just the worst. With that, Tomo released Issei's shoulders and ran to the second floor while sobbing. Now I feel really bad. Issei thought. Good job, Issei. Even I never make my mother cries, Albion scoffed at his host. Ha, not helping, Albion, Issei sarcastically replied. At that moment, Chrome decided to speak to Issei. I think you might have known it, but your mother is just really worried for you. Having you in the middle of dangerous situation like this is the first for her, Chrome explained. The one 10 years ago and the one with Stray Devil don't count. Issei asked as he lifted an eyebrow. Well, those got resolved in one sitting, so she didn't know about them until they ended. But this time is different. She will have to sit here waiting as you confront your enemies. It's normal that she's on edge because of it, Chrome explained further. I see, Issei said as he looked down. TCH. Don't worry about that, Chrome then smacked Issei's back, eliciting a, whoa, from the young man. Now, go out there and give those crows a good beating, alright. Chrome said with a bloodthirsty grin. Don't worry, I will, Issei replied as he sported a smirk. As he watched Issei left the house, Chrome couldn't help but to think about the past 10 years. Hey, that boy might be a lot more like me than I realized. Cuckoo. How I pity those crows. Well, better prepare for the celebration then, Chrome said as he went to the kitchen. Suddenly, Tomo's voice could be heard from upstairs. Chrome, if Issei is even the slightest bit hurt when he came back, you will sleep outside until New Year. Do you understand? Frozen in his steps, Chrome replied stiffly, I understand, honey. Good. Tomo's voice then could no longer be heard. Issei, for the sake of both of us, you must return home unharmed, Chrome thought as he could feel cold sweats on his skin. All right. Based on what we have seen so far we can conclude a few things, Issei thought as he walked in the direction of the abandoned church. First is that the abandoned church has been occupied by the fallen without anyone knowing, Albion said. Yeah, Asia and that stray exorcist Freed must also have come here because of the fallen. We can safely assume then there must be other stray exorcists at the church. Their base of operation. But what's their purpose here? It doesn't seem like their objective has anything to do with the town. Well, who knows? What I know is that whatever their purpose is, it doesn't seem to be for the good of this town. And so they are in need of a good bee. Issei's thought was cut off as three shadows were flying towards him. Issei. Shit. As Issei got into a fighting stance though, the shadows turned out to be three wounded fallen angels. Their wings were injured with lots of black feathers were torn off here and there. One of them, the one in the middle that Issei thought is the leader, was a female fallen angel that had the appearance that was close to his age, with long black hair, dark purple eyes, and wearing an outfit with dominatrix theme. Leaving nothing to imagination. The other two were a blonde young girl wearing gothic Lolita outfit and a blue-haired woman wearing a trench coat. Issei, Albion said in a warning tone. I'm not looking at anything, I swear. Issei replied as he tried really hard to look anywhere but the dominatrix-like outfit. Are you the one named Hyododube Issei? The black-haired fallen then spoke. Alarmed, Issei replied, how do you know my name? Fu, Asia told me quite a lot about the boy that helped her, and besides, my father also told me quite a lot about you, the girl answered. Your father? Issei put on a confused expression. Ah, yeah, I forgot to tell my name, right. Nice to meet you, Hyododube Issei. My name is Rainer, daughter of Azazel and Penemu of the Grigori. While the blonde girl and blue-haired woman behind me are Mittelt and Kalawarner, the girl, Rainer, answered with a naughty smirk. It took Issei a few seconds to process the statement. Say what? That Azazel. The one that is known to be able to rival Fafnir in perverseness. Issei said out loud, resulting in a tick mark appearing on Rainer's head. And just like what my father guessed. Apparently. You're so alike your father, huh, Hyododube-san. Rainer said with angry tone. Ah, sorry about that, Issei apologized. Huff. Even though we're giving it our all to tell you about Kokobiel's plan. Rainer spoke again. What? Kokobiel? Issei asked with a confused expression. You know about the cadres of Grigori, right? Rainer asked exasperatedly. Yeah, I know. There are Azazel, Penemu, Shemhazai, Barakiel, Kokobiel, Armaros, Sahariel, and Tamiel, right? Issei replied. Yes, indeed. And amongst them, Kokobiel is known as the most radical and aggressive, along with his followers. Just a few weeks ago he said about finding a lone sacred gear holder, and so intended to invite them to join the fallen angel, Rainer explained. I see. I presume the sacred gear holder is Asia then. But what happened to you? Issei asked. When Kokobiel came up with this plan at the last Grigori's meeting, my father got suspicious and although he approved of it, he asked me and my friends to find out if Kokobiel has any hidden agendas. Suffice to say, he does, and that he has already known about our roles as spies, hence our condition now, Rainer explained further. TCH, that bastard Danasik. I swear I will have my revenge, the blue-haired fallen angel, Kalawarner, said. Be grateful we're still alive, Kalawarner. If not because of Rainer we will be roasted crows by now, the blonde, Mittelt consoled. Only you can be grateful in a situation like this, Mittelt, Kalawarner replied. Wait, what actually this Kokobiel planned? And how can it be detrimental for the fallen angel? Issei asked. Hyododube-san, do you know the purpose of the Grigori? Rainer asked back. Ah, it's the governing body of the fallen angel, right? Issei answered unsurely. Yes, your answer can be said as correct. But Grigori also has another purpose, to watch over and protect the holder of the sacred gears, especially those who are alone and helpless. And what? Kokobiel planned to do is the opposite of this purpose, Rainer answered. How so? Because he intends to steal Ossia Argento's sacred gear, the Twilight Healing. What? It can be done, Issei exclaimed. Yes, through a specific ritual. One's sacred gear can be moved to another's possession. Yet, it's not without its own sacrifice. The original owner of the sacred gear will die, Rainer answered. What? Asia will die. Issei thought as he remembered the blonde nun that he couldn't help but think is a little sister. Issei, Albion finally spoke again after all this time, now with a resolute tone. Yeah, I know. Issei replied to Albion. As Issei opened his mouth to say something to Rainer though, Rainer spoke first. Please, Hyodo Dube-san, I know this might be unbecoming of me, but please, save Asia. I may have only known Asia for a short time, but she's a dear friend of mine, so please, save her, Rainer begged while bowing her head. Please, Kalawarner and Mittelt followed her example. Well, I certainly can't just deny their request now, can I? Not like I'm going to deny it in the first place, Issei thought. Please, lift your head. Having 3 beautiful girls lowering their heads for me is quite heavy for my conscience. Besides, whether you ask me or not, I'm still going to save Asia. She's a friend, after all, and dragons always protect their packs, Issei said. Foo. Beautiful, he says. Rainer, looks like Isak has a rival, don't you think? Kalawarner teased as she and the others lifted their heads. Stop it, Kalawarner. Why? Oh, you know as well as I do that Hyodo Dube-san here only has his eyes on Valiana-chan, right, Hyodo Dube-san? Rainer asked Issei. What? Wait, what? Issei dumbfoundedly replied. The name Isak rang a bell in his brain. Though he couldn't put a face to the name at the moment. Foo. All right then, Hyodo Dube-san, we shall take our leave. Now, my father will want to hear of this, though. I am afraid we won't be able to bring any reinforcement to help you in time. I leave Asia to you, Rainer said as she and the other 2 fallen angels started to disappear through the use of magic circles. Wait, did you just say Valiana? Do you know her? How is she right now? Issei frantically asked. Foo. Why don't you find out yourself, Hyodo Dube-san? Don't worry though, she is fine and looking forward to see you again, Rainer replied as she disappeared. So, she's fine. I'm glad, Issei said with a relieved expression. Issei, now is not the time for this, Albion said to Issei. Yeah, you're right. We should focus on saving Asia right now. Who knows when the ritual will begin, Issei replied. Focusing his mana to his legs, Issei once again used his enhancement magic. Kosa, Issei said as his magic circle appeared, and his legs were covered in familiar white and black colored energy. Alright, here we go, Issei said as he dashed quickly towards the hill. Where the infested church was situated. Asia, hold on. Issei was running towards the church as fast as he could when he noticed the barrier surrounding the church and one other detail that even other supernatural beings might not notice. The only reason Issei noticed it was because for his sensitive draconic sense, the first supernatural being's scent he first smelled was a devil, and so it could be said that he's extremely sensitive for the species scent. And indeed, it was a devil that he sensed. You, who are you? Come out, you're a devil, aren't you? Issei said as he stopped before the small forest that was surrounding the abandoned church. At first, no one appeared, but then a person appeared from behind the trees. The person was a young man with a dark green hair and closed eyes. Though he appeared to be just like a normal teenager, Issei had no doubt that the person in question was a devil. So, you have showed yourself. Who are you? And what is your purpose here? Are you with the fallen angels? Issei confronted. Meanwhile, the devil just smiled in response while his eyes were still closed. Hey, I am asked, Issei tried to say before being cut off. Are all humans impolite like you? Just asking and confronting other people that you haven't met before, isn't that a bad thing to do? I wonder how my beloved Asia managed to make an acquaintance such as you. The devil said while still smiling. Though it's clear he's mocking Issei. Stunned in response, Issei decided to apologize. Sorry about that, I have a bad experience with a devil once and I guess all of this fiasco is stressing on me. Oh, a bad experience with a devil. With you still alive and well in the end. I guess you're not like any other human then. The devil's tone now changed into one of curiosity. Well, I guess. But right now, we're talking about you, right? The devil that was once saved by Asia Argento? Issei asked. From the slip of the devil's smile, Issei knew that his guess was spot on. How do you know? The devil's tone now became serious. What do you think I've been doing for these past 2 days? Of course I would research about any possible enemies that I might encounter if I have the time. I know that Fried Selzen is an artificial human created by the Sigurd Institute, and that Asia's excommunication from the church is because she healed you in the past, am I right? Issei said. Looks like I have to take back my opinion on you, human. It seems you're smarter than you appeared to be, the devil said. Hey, I get that a lot. So, Devil-san, what is your purpose here? Issei asked. Do you need to ask? Saving my beloved Asia, of course, the devil answered. By yourself. Why do you think I'm laying low here? With how many those insects gathering around the blasted church? It'd be a hard job even for me to infiltrate the church and save my beloved Asia, the devil scoffed. I see. Then, how about we work together? It'll be better if we help each other, right? Issei offered. And what's in it for you? The devil asked. Well, Asia is my friend, and the pack always watch each other. Besides, it'd be hard for a stalker like you to do all of this by yourself, right? Stalker. Why you? The devil scowled as he held back his anger. Oh, don't worry, it's not something bad for me. In fact, stalking is one of the quite sophisticated and hard way to court one's mate. One can't get too close, and yet also obviously can't get too far. Knowing to look for the opportunity and then strike at the right time, Issei nodded sagely. You're not a human, aren't you? The devil commented, just realizing the guy in front of him probably worked on different common sense than norm. Duh, did you just realize it? Issei retorted. Whatever. At least this means you are probably useful, the devil sighed in exasperation. He then offered his hand. Diodora Astaroth, the now identified devil said. Taking the offered hand, Issei replied, Hyodo Dub Issei. Noticing how Issei's lack of reaction to his name, Diodora let out a small genuine smile that was unnoticed by the former. Then, shall we, Hyodo Dub-san? Hiding among the trees, Issei and Diodora observed the stray priests and the rogue mages that guarded the church's perimeter. Damn, I don't expect they also have rogue mages with them, Issei said. I thought you said you did your research. Diodora deadpanned. I did. I just didn't expect them to be here since I was of the mind that this is a discreet operation. Rogue mages and their magic are just not really subtle in my opinion, Issei replied. Did you just make a pun? Diodora deadpanned again. I know it's a bad joke. Can you do something about the magic with your clan powers, Akashic formula? Issei asked. Oh, it seems you're quite informed regarding my clan, Diodora raised an eyebrow. I like being informed of my potential enemies, thank you, Issei replied. Good reasoning. And the answer is, I can. I can negate their magic using my clan power, but I can't do the same against the stray exorcists, light swords. My brother hasn't taught me that far, Diodora said. I can handle the exorcists. Your brother? Issei asked. It's a long story, and we better be hurry. It's been 2 days since Asia got here, and if not for the crows that helped her, Asia won't be alive for this long, Diodora said in a serious tone. You're right. Kruba, Issei said in a similar manner as the familiar claws formed on his hands. Ah, draconic enhancement. So that's what you are. Alright, let's go. Both of them then charged towards the church's perimeter. The guards, not expecting the surprise attack from trespassers, only 2 no less, hurriedly readied themselves. As the mages preparing their spells, Issei signaled Diodora, prompting the devil to use his power to negate the spells through sheer calculation. Issei on the other hand, went straight to the middle of the enemies and started to wreak havoc there using his claws. Bisecting any that went near him, with Diodora also giving air support through his own spells. Issei, are you alright? Albion suddenly asked as Issei cut apart an exorcist into 2. Not really. Even after what Dad did to prepare me, I'm still uncomfortable with having to kill any other beings, Issei answered. But you do know that it might only become worse from now on, don't you? Yeah, but if I want to protect Anna, especially from that bastard, then this will be something I might have to do, reluctant or not. Even if my future is drenched dark in blood, if it's for her, I will do it. Opening square bracket. Good determination, Issei. Then I shall help you. Dragon Divider. Both Issei and Albion shouted as they summoned Divine Dividing, causing surprise among their enemies. Diodora meanwhile, although also surprised, managed to get his bearing and once again attack the enemies. With the added help of Divine Dividing, they managed to kill all of His stray exorcists and rogue mages in no time. Quick, to the church basement. Diodora shouted, destroying the church's door and the altar, hiding the secret stairs leading to the basement using his claws. Issei and Diodora arrived to see a fallen angel wearing a trench coat and a fedora hat. Presumably Danasik, and the last stray exorcist, Fried Selzen, standing in front of a crucified Asia. Fortunately, she seemed to be still alive, only unconscious. See, I told you, Danasik, the brat will come. I don't expect the addition though, Fried smirked. TCH, if not because of that spoiled girl, we would have succeeded by now. Danasik grunted. Astaroth, which one will you take? Issei asked. The crow. I hope you can handle the stray, Doob, Diodora replied. Absolutely, Issei said, as he sported a bloodthirsty grin not unlike his father. Then let's go. Charging towards their respective opponent, Issei readied his claws as Diodora prepared his spells. Wielding his light sword, Fried clashed with Issei. It seemed after the last fight where he found out that Issei was immune to the holy bullets, Fried decided to stick to the melee. Meanwhile Issei, who knew that he didn't have much time, decided to forego his usual combat style and change into a more parry-based stance, hoping that it would help in defeating Fried faster. Kahahehe. This time you will really die, rare breed. Fried chuckled maniacally as he aimed at Issei's midsection. I'm the one who is supposed to kill you, you damn lunatic. It's payback time, Issei replied as he dodged the strike and aimed at the stray exorcist's right hand, hoping to cripple the latter's sword hand. PFF'd, you wish. I'll make sure to disembowel you and that shitty devil and make you see me raping that bitch's corpse after Danesik's done with her. Fried taunted as he struck at Issei's left side. Knowing that the madman was trying to provoke him, Issei stayed silent as he dodged the blow and returned the attack. Each following swing of the light sword kept getting dodged or parried by the half-dragon. This continued for a while, but with constant divide from Divine Dividing, it's clear that Fried was reaching his limit. Shit. No, I'm not going to fall here. Grah. Fried then went on a desperate strike aimed at Issei's heart, noticing that he overreached himself in the process. Issei. Yeah, Kosa. Issei whispered as the draconic enhancement appeared on his legs. Quickly sidestepping the exorcist's attack, Issei went to his enemy's back with speed boost from the enhancement. But you're exactly going to fall here, Fried. Issei replied as his clawed right hand went into Fried's back and grasping his beating heart. Goodbye, Issei said as he crushed the heart. As he released the dying madman, he could hear a whispered denial from the exorcist's mouth as the latter bleed out to death. Staring at the corpse with a regretful expression on his face, Issei quickly snapped himself out from his stupor. Looking towards the other fight, Issei could see that while the fight wasn't as one-sided as his, it's still one-sided nonetheless. Every light spears that Danasik launched at Diodora quickly got dispelled using Akashic formula, and while some of Diodora's spells missed, much more of them hit their target. Kua, impossible. How can I be defeated by a lowly devil? Danasik grunted in denial as he covered his bleeding stomach. Kukuku, let me answer you then. This lowly devil is Diodora Astaroth, the heir of the Astaroth clan, and the younger brother of Ajuka Beelzebub, the current Beelzebub. Diodora answered with unconcealed mirth. Wah! Danasik lost his words at what he had just heard. And seeing that my companion has finished, maybe we should also finish this charade. Diodora continued as he formed countless magic circles that caged in the fallen angel. Akashic formula. Calculate. Light spears. Analyze. Modify. Dark spears, Diodora chanted as a green-colored demonic version of the fallen angel's light spears appeared from the magic circles. No. Danasik screamed in disbelief as his body was impaled by Diodora's countless spears, reducing him into what appeared to be just a single feather once Diodora ended his onslaught. Goodbye, Crow, Diodora sneered as he folded his wings and landed. Oi, Astaroth, if you can do that, why not finish him earlier and help me? Issei asked with an annoyed tone. Well, truthfully, I can't even do that instantly. I need time to calculate, analyze and modify the ability. And besides, I still want to see how far is your capability. And even then, now I know you're still hiding your full powers, Diodora answered. Fair enough, Issei admitted with a shrug. Come on, dude, we don't have enough time. I know you can smell the devils that are coming here, and I know what is their intention. I won't let my beloved Asia to be reincarnated into such a lowly peerage, Diodora said condescendingly. But Issei could smell that his statement of protecting Asia from his fellow devils was sincere. All right, Issei complied as he broke the chains holding Asia to the cross. Stepping 2. Teleportation magic circle that Diodora had created while holding the unconscious Asia, the three of them then disappeared from the church's basement. Not a moment after that, 4 devils that Issei had smelled and Diodora had detected arrived at the place. One of them was the red-haired Rias Grimori, while the other was the black-haired Himahima Akino. The last girl of the group was the short, white-haired Tuju Kaneko, the so-called mascot of Kuo Academy. And the last member of the group, and the only male, was a young man with short blonde hair, bluish-gray eyes, and mole under his left eye. Kiba Yuto, the famous prince of Kuo Academy. Bushu, it seems we're too late, the short girl, Kaneko, said. Yeah, I can sense the leftover magic here. The just left a moment ago. And one of them at least is a devil. It seems we've been outtraced. Akino, can you detect where they teleported to? Rias asked. I'm sorry, Bushu. But the user of the magic circle must be a really strong mage, I can't detect his destination. Akino said in a sad tone while shaking her head. I see, if only the barrier hasn't prevented us from teleporting in. Yuto, do you know how many people did all of this? From what I see. We're talking about at least 2 people. One magic-oriented and one melee-oriented. I assume the devil is the magic user. The melee user is not using any conventional weapons, however. Those wounds. These kinds of injuries are caused by claws, meaning we're probably not talking about a normal being, even by supernatural standard, Kiba answered. Those answers Saint made the distressed Rias much more unnerved. As she bit her nails, she muttered. First the stray devil, now the fallen angels. What is actually happening in this town? Once the teleport process finished, Issei, Diodora, and the unconscious Asia arrived at the part of the forest near where Issei met Diodora for the first time. Diodora quickly checked Asia's condition. How is she? Issei asked. She's fine, just unconscious. The most important question is what we are going to do with her now, Diodora answered. What about you? What are you going to do? Issei asked again. Well, the initial plan is to rescue her silently under those crows' noses and to hide her in hell. But now I know that it won't do any good for her when we think about her status as a human, even one with a sacred gear, Diodora replied. Can't you do something? Well, I can use my evil pieces to turn her to a devil, but that will make me no different than those devils that chase after her, don't you think? I see. Well, I guess you pass, Issei said. Wait what? Diodora asked in confusion. I just want to see how sincere you're feeling to Asia, and I guess you're really serious about her. So how about you let Asia live in my house, maybe my parents will even adopt her, and you can visit her every time you want to, Issei nonchalantly offered. What? Diodora was really surprised that he opened his usually closed green eyes. So, how about it? Do you accept my offer? Issei asked. Wait, so that question at the start is just a test? Diodora asked dumbfoundedly. What else? I just want to check whether you're really serious about Asia or not. Like I said, the pack is the most important thing for a dragon, remember? Issei replied. What if it turns out I'm not sincere towards Asia? What will you do? Diodora asked, still with his eyes opened. Well, better not dwell on it, it won't be pretty for you anyway. Now come on, carry Asia with you. We're going to slip past those devils and go to my house while they're still in the abandoned church. Issei said nonchalantly as he turned around. Of course you're the one to carry her. Who's courting Asia, anyway? Issei asked cheekily. Doob, Diodora glowered. Just shut up and carry her, Astaroth, Issei said with a smirk as he walked away. The sullen Astaroth then followed after him while carrying Asia. Soon enough, they arrived at the Hyododube household. The first thing that happened was Tomo fussing over her son and Chrome congratulating Issei for finishing his enemies just like he would have done. Fortunately, since Issei actually managed to get home unscratched, both he and Chrome were safe from Tomo's wrath, and Chrome didn't have to sleep on the couch until New Year. They only noticed the unconscious Asia and Diodora after that. Issei gave Diodora a glare that told him not to tell anyone what had happened because what his mother had done was clearly embarrassing and no one needed to know it. But that didn't mean only Issei went through such things though. After Issei explained what had happened, Diodora went through what he would later said is, in-laws interrogation. Because since Issei's parents actually went through with his idea on adopting Asia, she could be said as Issei's sister, and therefore, Issei could be called as Diodora's brother-in-law to be. A fact that somewhat amused Issei to no end. At that moment, Diodora was really grateful that he's actually serious about Asia, because he now could imagine what Issei said earlier about it wouldn't end well for him in case he wasn't sincere. But before the adoption idea could be finalized, Asia needed to wake up first. It was a few hours later that Asia regained his consciousness. "Asia, are you alright?" Issei asked in worry. Issei-san. Where am I? Asia asked in confusion. "Right now you're in my house, Asia. What is the last thing that you remember?" Issei asked. I remember. Our Danasik-san and Father Freed trying to take my sacred gear through some ritual, and then when Rainer-san and the others found out, they tried to stop them but then got injured and forced to run away." "Oh, right. What happened to Rainer-san and the others? Are they alright?" Asia hurriedly asked. "Don't worry, Asia, they're fine. I last saw them getting back to the Grigori after telling me what happened to you." Issei answered. Really? I'm glad," Asia said in relief. But, what about Danasik-san, Father Freed, and the others? What happened to them?" Asia continued asking. "We exterminated them. That's happened," Diodora said as he appeared on the room. "Why you are Devil-san," Asia gasped in surprise. "Ah, my beloved Asia, you don't know how glad I'm to hear that you still remember me. Truly, my feelings are not unlike those flowers who..." Diodora was cut off in the middle of his cheesy monologue by Issei who hit his head. "Stop spouting nonsense, Astaroth. Look, she's clearly confused and embarrassed," Issei said, pointing at the red-faced Asia. She's clearly just shy after not meeting this Handome self after a long time, you uncultured brute. You clearly don't know how to be romantic." "Doob," Diodora replied. "Are you looking for a fight, Astaroth?" Issei taunted. "Hey, bring it on, Doob," Diodora replied. Please don't fight," Asia tried to separate the two idiots. "That's right, you two. You're in front of a lady, so act like gentlemen, will you?" A pair of iron fans then descended and hit both Issei's and Diodora's heads. "Gah!" Both of them cried in pain. You are?" Asia asked. "It's nice to see you finally awake, Asia-chan. My name is Hyododube Tomo, this idiot boy's mother. You can just call me Tomo, T." He now identified Tomo gently introduced herself to Asia. "Issei-san's mother?" Asia asked. "Yes, and the one over there is my husband, Issei's father, Chrome Dube. Like me, you can just call him Chrome." Tomo looked at Chrome who was standing a bit far from there. He could see that his wife was still a bit irritated from their son's earlier antics and knew it would be safer for now to put a short distance from his wife. "It's nice to finally see you, Asia. Issei told us a lot about you," Chrome said. Issei-san did?" Asia asked in confusion. "I brought the unconscious you here, thinking that you might need treatment. Mom and Dad were the ones who healed you," Issei answered after he managed to soothe the headache. I see. Nice to meet you too, Tomo-san, Chrome-san. And, thank you for treating me." Asia thanked the couple while smiling. Tomo, who just stayed silent for a couple of seconds, then suddenly squealed and hugged Asia, prompting an from the nun. What's wrong, Tomo-san? Did I just said something wrong?" Asia asked in worry. No, nothing's wrong. It's just, you're just too cute. Chrome, we definitely have to keep her. Please." Tomo just kept squealing as she hugged Asia's close to her 110 centimeters breasts. Quote. Somehow I'm a bit jealous, Chrome absent-mindedly said. Oh, wait, what the hell am I saying? Anyway, since Tomo mentioned it, why not? How about you? Asia, do you mind? Chrome asked. Before that, can I know what Devil San means by extermination? No. A-, are you saying that? Quote. We killed them, Asia, all of them. I freed myself while Astaroth finished Danasik, Issei grimly said. But, couldn't we at least resolve it peacefully? Asia asked as tears started to appear on her eyes. Asia, Issei said in sadness. Sighing, Diodora kneeled and took Asia's hand in his. My beloved Asia, I know that you hate bloodshed, but please know that we, only did this for your safety. If they managed to complete the ritual, you would die as your very life is connected to your sacred gear. While it's true that Doob helped me, even without his help I would still try to save you, regardless of the consequences. You saved my life once, Asia, and for that, I'm willing to fight against all of the 3 factions for you, Diodora said gently. Devil San, Asia said in disbelief. Please, call me Diodora. After all, it's my name, Diodora Astaroth, Diodora said. Diodora San, why doing all of this just for me? Asia asked, now crying. Because I love you, of course, beloved Asia. Isn't that obvious? Diodora gently smiled with his eyes opened. Wah. Asia squeaked while her face turned red. I know that this might feel so sudden for you, but please know that I've been in love with you ever since all those years ago when you saved me. I know that you might want to have time to think about it, but please, can you at least give me a chance to bring you to a few dates? Diodora asked. Not knowing what to say, Asia turned to Issei, silently asking for his opinion. Just accept it, Asia, Issei answered. While the guy is annoying and a bit of a jerk. Hey, I personally think he is a good guy. Isn't that right, Astaroth? Issei turned to Diodora who just stared at the former with murderous stare due to his earlier comment. After hearing Issei's opinion, Asia thought for a while before giving her answer. Alright, then I'll be in your care, Diodora-san, Asia said with a really red face. At her answer, Diodora just let out a really big smile. Quadruple A. I'm just going to have a daughter but she's already getting a boyfriend. Oh, we should pick some clothes for you to wear at your dates, Asia-chan. Tomo energetically said as she hugged Asia again. Sister. Boyfriend. Somehow I regretted saying that to Asia, Issei silently thought. Daughter. Boyfriend. Somehow I want fill that devil full of holes with my shotgun. Wait, what am I talking about? I don't have a shotgun. Chrome then tried to clear his mind. Wonderful. Turns out my host and his father are overprotective. This isn't going to end well, Albion whispered to himself. After managing to clear his mind, Chrome coughed and then continued his earlier proposal. So, how about it, Asia? Do you mind if Tomo and I adopted you? Chrome asked again. Adoption? Asia asked. Well, to be honest, this won't be like your normal adoption. Blood adoption essentially changed the adopted's genetics to be close to the ones who are doing the adoption, but without changing any of the strength and power that the adopted has already had. When I healed you earlier, I noticed that you somehow have a really good compatibility with the Dragonkin, and in case you didn't realize. Both me and Issei are dragons, hence why I offered you this, Chrome explained. How am I compatible with the Dragonkin? Asia asked in confusion. To be honest, I don't know. It probably has something to do with luck, destiny, and whatnot. And don't worry, you won't outright turn into a dragon. Like those who are born with dragon form have to train to attain human form, so do the ones who initially have human form have to train to attain dragon form, Chrome explained. Ah, I see, Asia said. So, how is it? Do you mind if we become your family? Chrome asked while grinning. Asia paused as she looked around her, at Issei who once again was arguing with Diodora, at the smiling Tomo, and at the grinning Chrome. After a while, she gave her answer. Yes, I really want to have a family. Asia answered as she sniffed. Yes, I finally have a daughter. Come here to mom. Tomo shouted as she, once again, hugged Asia. Mom, Asia stuttered as she didn't know how to react. Ease up on the girl, Tomo. Now follow me, we will do the adoption ritual at the back room, Chrome chuckled as he walked away. As the rest of the Hyododube household followed though, Diodora grabbed Issei's shoulder. Wait a minute, Dube. TCH, what is it, Astaroth? Issei asked, annoyed. Tell me, there is one Rias Grimoire that goes to your school, right? Diodora asked back. The red-haired one, right? Yeah, what is it? Smiling mysteriously, Diodora asked again, do you mind if I ask you a favor, Dube? Do you mind if I ask you a favor, Dube? Diodora asked. What is it? Issei replied. Kuhuhuhu, you don't need to worry about that for now. I just want to know whether you are willing to help or not, Diodora said. Oh well, whatever, sign me in, Issei nonchalantly said. I will hold to it then, Diodora smiled mysteriously. It's been a few days since then, and yet he still hasn't contacted me yet. Damn it, that Astaroth, what does he want, really? Issei thought as he stood alone on the rooftop. It had been a few days since the fiasco with the fallen angels. The adoption ritual had worked successfully and now Asia had gone. Itakuo Academy on a year under him is his sister, now legally named as Hyododube Asia. Even now he could see her eating lunch together with her new friends. Her now white hair and red eyes, the after effects of the ritual. Evident among the black-haired and brunette Japanese. Thankfully, since everyone knew about Issei's father being a foreigner, they chalked Asia's appearance up as genetics from his father. Though she's more like mom rather than dad, Issei commented. Issei, stop staring at her every minute. There are no boys that go near her, Albion sighed as he told Issei. I don't know what you're talking about. Issei said. You can say whatever you want, Issei, but I know an overprotective brother when I see one, Albion countered. I'm not an overprotective brother, Issei said back. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. This kind of exchange went on and on until the end of the break. Say, why don't you guys go near Hyodo's sister? The brunette, Murayama, asked the perverted duo that hanged around the courtyard. In return, the duo just stared at her strangely. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Oh, I know. You must be thinking perverted things about me, don't you? Murayama accused. The duo just stared at her longer before shrugging and went back to anything they're doing before. This is strange. They never acted like this before. The pink-haired Katace that was near Murayama remarked. Murayama just nodded in response. After a while, Motohama decided to tell the girl, well, for one, she's Issei's sister, and although we haven't seen her all in our life, we have always thought of him as our brother in anything but blood, therefore you can say that Asia is also our sister. But isn't there a fetish about little sister though? Murayama countered. It's good if she's our little sister, but she isn't, so she's off limit, Matsuda scoffed. And never saw her. I thought you and Hyodo are childhood friends. Katace asked. Well, Issei said that she was very sickly as a child and therefore had to go overseas for treatment. Makes sense, Motohama answered. Going overseas. Wait, what are Hyodo's parents' jobs, really, to be able to afford that? Murayama asked. Last I remembered, his mother is your normal housewife, while his father is, what is he again, Motohama? Matsuda said. Ex-Irish mafia, Motohama nonchalantly answered. Oh yeah, no wonder his father has that scary expression of his. The guy is really cool though, Matsuda added. Mafia. Murayama and Katace shouted in surprise and fright. Now that I think about it. Is that how Issei found that girl that one time we played together? Motohama thought aloud. What girl? Matsuda asked in confusion. You know, Issei's girlfriend. The one that you took photo of with. Issei using your camera. Motohama said as he tried to rein in his annoyance. Oh, that girl. The one with silver hair, right. If I remember correctly, her name is Anna, right. Damn, I'm sure she must be a beauty now. Issei sure is a damn lucky guy, Matsuda laughed. Wait, Hyodo has a girlfriend. I have never heard about it before. Katasa said in surprise. Well, not a girlfriend per se. You see, we used to played around with this girl named Irina, though Issei thinks she is a boy, the idiot. One day, she went to Europe due to her parents' work. And so we had one less person in our group. We told Issei to find one more person, and Issei found her. Issei told me he found her alone in the park, though I doubt it, Motohama said. How so? Matsuda dumbly asked. Matsuda, one does not simply found a beautiful girl with foreign appearance wearing expensive clothes alone in a park in Japan. Issei told me she ran away from her grandpa since apparently he abused her and caused her parents' deaths. Although Issei didn't tell me much, I can imagine what actually happened, Motohama explained, moving his glasses. Please do explain then, Detective Motohama. Murayama said, clearly really intrigued to even act civil with Motohama. Adjusting his glasses again, Motohama told the three his conjecture, alright. First, think that the girl is an heiress from another mafia family. Due to bad relations with the grandfather or other reasons, her parents and her grandfather probably fought each other that ended up with one of them leaving the mafia family. The problem began when the grandfather decided to track her family and decided to have his retribution, which, if Issei was to be believed, ended up with Anna's parents dead. After suffering abuse by her grandfather for a time though, Anna probably managed to run away and ask for help from her parents' acquaintance. The acquaintance then probably turned to one of his ex-colleague for help, which was probably Issei's father, causing the meeting between Issei and Anna. Are you sure it's not a coincidence, though? Katase asked in doubt over Motohama's explanation. Well, the last evidence is that when we played tomorrow, Issei told me that Anna went back home so that she couldn't play with us anymore. When I asked him the reason, he said that Anna's grandfather came yesterday after we came home. And that although Issei tried to go against him, he still lost in the end. Fortunately, Issei's father and his colleague came in time and managed to drive away him. So Anna didn't have to come back with him. Since his father and the colleague clearly knew each other, isn't that proof enough that Issei's father at least has some sort of connection with the mafia world? Motohama elaborated. I see. Well, that's quite the convincing proof, Katase admitted. Oh, and if you need another proof, there's also another one that I can tell you, Matsuda suddenly said. Matsuda, did you mean that incident? Motohama asked while showing a disagreeing expression. What incident? Both Murayama and Katase asked in excitement. What I'm about to tell you better don't spread, alright. It has something to do with why Issei and we transferred to this school, Motohama said. I thought the three of you transferred to this school because of the girls, the same reason as the others. Murayama said. It might be the case if it's only me and Matsuda, but Issei doesn't have any reason to transfer, Motohama answered. And it's also one of the reasons why we don't go near Issei's sister, and also why insulting Issei's family is a really bad idea, Matsuda continued. So, what actually happened? Stop stalling already, Katase shouted. Looking at each other, Motohama and Matsuda then nodded. Issei, his family probably killed someone from our school, Matsuda answered. What? Katase said in disbelief. Said guy was a bully back in our old school. One day, he saw Anna's photo that Issei accidentally dropped from his wallet, and well, said things that shouldn't be said since Issei's into, foreign girls. Everything was fine, until he also said things about Anna. We saw Issei's expression changed into this really scary and cold one. We knew then that the bully fucked up. Nothing else happened for the rest of the day, but when tomorrow came, we got news that the bully's house was burned down, with the bully and the rest of his family trapped inside. Sure, there's no evidence that could incriminate Issei. But everyone became afraid of him ever since, hence why he transferred to Kuo, Motohama explained. And you're not afraid of him? Murayama opened her mouth after being quiet for a moment. Of course not. Issei's our friend, and we also know our limits. In fact, I already offered to beat up the bully back then, but Issei refused. Turned out he already had his own plan, Matsuda snorted. Looking Matsuda up and down, Murayama said, are you sure? You don't look strong at all. Just Matsuda used to be part of one of the sport clubs in our old school. He only joined the photography club this year, Motohama snorted. For perverted reasons, I'm sure, Katase said. You got it right, Matsuda said with a smile. Sadly, his answer prompted the two kendo club members to beat up the perverted duo again. Meanwhile, Murderer, was currently talking to someone which was clearly supernatural in nature, evident from the green magic circle near his ear. The old school building. You mean the one that now is used as the ORC's base? Why do we have to go there? Issei asked. Because that's connected to the favor that I asked from you. Diodora's voice could be heard from the magic circle. How is that connected at all? Do you know who is the current president of the ORC? Rias Grimoire. I see. So the orc is just a smokescreen for her peerage, huh? But what are you going to do with the Grimoire's peerage? Kuhuhu, now that would be telling. Just make sure to come to the building at 3 p.m. Oh, and make sure to wear something that can hide your identity. We don't want anyone to know you're a student of Kuo Academy, after all. Fine, I'll trust you on this one. With that, Issei cut off the link. Huff, what the fuck am I getting myself into? Welcome to Devil's Politics, Issei. Albion said with a teasing tone. Shut up, Albion. At 3 p.m., in a place near the old school building but was hidden from public eyes, two magic circles could be seen. One was green-colored while the other was white and black-colored. Soon enough two figures appeared from the teleportation magic circles. One was Diodora, though he now wore casual clothes that consisted of black hoodie with the Astaroth emblem on the back, green shirt, dark green cargo pants, and sneakers. The other one though. Really? Doob, really? Diodora said with a twitching eye as he looked at his companion. What Issei currently wore was the complete opposite of Diodora's. He wore semi-heavy white armor with clawed hands and feet, and black bodysuit with traditional hakama, ballooning pants that were common in samurai. He also wore an elaborate white faceless mask that had long white silver hair tied on the mane. All of the armored sections of the armor also featured fully functional black eyes with slit pupils, making it really frightening. This is the only thing that I can find in my house. And apparently this is something that my mother made for my father a long time ago. Don't know how or why she made it though. Issei replied. Right, whatever. Let's go in, Diodora said as he stepped into the ORC's building. So, gonna tell what we're going to do? Issei asked. Smiling mysteriously, Diodora answered. We're going to crash a wedding, of course. As both Issei and Diodora stood in front of the ORC room, Albion decided to break the silence. Issei, do you know what kind of devils we're going to face? Well, I can sense at least 2 foreign devil signature inside the room outside of the ORC's members that we've known. One of them smells like chicken though. Chicken. I prefer pheasant but chicken is good enough. Not knowing the hidden conversation between the two dragonkin, Diodora said, so, ready to face the music, Hikumen. Hikumen was the name that two decided to use as Issei's alias. The name meant, white face, in Japanese, and both of them thought it fit. And mysterious enough for Issei. Issei then just nodded in response to Diodora's question. Alright, here we go. Diodora said as he turned the doorknob. For the final time, Riser. I will not marry you. Rias shouted out loud, right at the exact moment Diodora opened the door. Looks like we arrived right at the critical moment, huh, Hikumen? Diodora smiled. You probably opened the door because you perfectly know that this is happening, didn't you? Issei spoke in his magically distorted voice, becoming rougher and heavier. I have no idea what you're talking about, Diodora feigned ignorance. TCH, cheeky devil, Issei said in response. Hey, who the hell or why? Oh you to disturb Riser and his beloved Rias. The blonde-haired man in burgundy suit, probably the guy Rias called Riser, said to Diodora. Oh god, he speaks in third person. Issei and Albion thought at the same time. Tisk tisk tisk. No wonder you're just the third heir to the Phoenix clan, Riser. You're so rude to someone you just met, Diodora said. You, Graphia, who is this guy? Did you invite him here? Riser asked the other unknown person there. She was a beautiful woman appearing to be in her early 20s, with silver hair and red eyes. Her hair, which flows all the way down to her back, features a long braid on each side with small blue bows at the ends, while the rest is let down, ending in twin braids. She also wore a blue and white colored maid outfit. He is the heir to Astaroth clan, Diodora Astaroth Sama. Riser Sama. And no, I didn't invite him here. Can you please tell us why you are here, Diodora-sama? Graphia asked. Now that's a polite way of asking question. You should learn from her, Riser. And for your answer, Graphia-san, your husband accidentally spoke to my brother last night when he was drunk about his little sister's engagement. I just thought I shish. Old lend a hand to her since our brothers are friends, Diodora answered, still smiling. Before this, Diodora had told Issei that Rias Grimori's older brother, Seer's ex-Lucifer, was the current Lucif. After the civil war between the anti-Satan faction and old Satan faction years ago. That would mean Graphia was Rias' older sister-in-law. Hearing the name Lucifer, Issei didn't show any reaction, since he knew that it's only a title. And the only true Lucifer that's still alive were Rizvam and Anna. I see. Looks like I have to punish him again when I get back. And who is the one besides you? Graphia asked again, unsure of what Issei was due to his almost skin-like armor and faceless mask. He is. I am his older brother-in-law, Issei cut off Diodora's answer. You, Diodora glowered at Issei. What? It's true. After all, you're dating my little sister, right, Astaroth? Issei taunted. Diodora knew that he was trapped right now. Not seeing any other choice, he relented. Yeah, I understand. The one beside me is Hakumen, a dragonkin. And just like he said, I'm dating his little sister, Diodora. Said. Issei seemed to be strangely smug because of Diodora's answer. None of it showed on the outside though. The other people just went speechless at the statement. An heir to one of the 72 pillars, dating a dragoness. They didn't know whether that was a good thing or not. Alright, let's just cut to the chase. What's your purpose here, Diodora? Riser asked in anger. It's quite simple, really. Rias-san, you don't want to marry this chicken, correct? Diodora asked. Nuring Riser further by his chicken comment. Well, that's correct. I want to marry the man that I love and choose myself, and not one that was chosen by my parents, Rias answered. That's why I offer. Why not just settle this with a rating game between your peerage and Risers? If Riser wins, the engagement will stay, and if you win, the engagement will be broken. How about that? Diodora offered. And what is your role in this? Astaroth. Riser asked. I will help train them, of course. I and Hakumen, Diodora answered. Someone who doesn't even have peerage like you want to help my beloved Rias. Preposterous. Well, you might receive some help from your brother, but I don't believe that your companion is able to help, Riser spat. Well, why don't we find out then? Diodora smirked. Good idea. Riser then snapped his finger. One big magic circle appeared on the floor, and from it appeared Riser's peerage. All of them were women wearing various type of revealing clothes. All. Issei had the feeling that each one of them was a fulfillment of Riser's certain fetishes. He already have this many women. Moreover, he already has a queen, yet still want for more. Disgusting, Albion said to Issei. Issei couldn't help but to share the sentiment. Dragons had a mate for life. Since dragons were practically immortal, one didn't need to worry if their mate were to die, except in certain circumstances. Even regarding special cases like Chrome and others like him, they had already formed a bond that would share their life force with their mates so that the latter wouldn't die by natural means. And surprisingly, the same also applied with devils, Diodora told him. Even if they're called devils, they're still from the Christian pantheon, the one that made the monogamous practice widespread. So of course they also had the tradition. In fact, the queen piece of a peerage was traditionally to be given to the king's mate. Excluding Akino and Rias and other examples that were from the same gender. King and queen, with opposing genders from other peerages highly likely were a couple. That's why a peerage like Riser's, which was filled with women devoted to him, was actually quite frowned upon by the traditionalists. Mira, will you test the weakling, please? Riser indicated to his pawn, a blue-haired girl wearing red happy jacket. Yes, Riser-sama. She complied as he charged towards Issei. The fools. Don't they know to never underestimate a dragon? Ah, wait, it's Riser's peerage, after all. No surprise there, Diodora thought. Facing the simple and reckless charge, Issei just stood silently like a statue, waiting for the spear. Even when the spear was already upon his neck, he still hadn't moved at all. And finally, the spear arrived, only for The spear had to be broken once it came in contact with Issei's armor. Whether it's because of the armor's defense capability or Issei's draconic physique, no one knew. He doesn't even use enhancement magic, Akino said in amazement. His body is strong, really strong, even stronger than me, I assume, Kaneko said. Are you sure, Kaneko? Yuto asked the rook. She then nodded in confirmation. Issei then grabbed the spear shaft and swung the now useless stick while Riser's pawn still holding on it with disbelief, resulting in her body being thrown against the wall. Issei might now had used all of his strength. But it's evident that the pawn would have some heavy injuries from the fact that there were large cracks on the wall. A bit excessive, don't you think? Do you really need to be so merciless against such a little girl? Diodora asked Issei while frowning. They underestimate me, Astaroth, so I have to give them some lessons. And besides, you know that there's no mercy in battle and war, Issei answered. Turning towards Riser, Issei spoke with the Phoenix for the first time. Does that satisfy you enough of my power, Phoenix? TCH, Riser answered with just that as he helped the unconscious Mira. Then, with both parties' agreement, the matter regarding Rias-sama's engagement shall be decided through a rating game between Rias-sama's peerage and Riser-sama's peerage. Do you have any complaints? Rias-sama, Grafia, who just watched the exchange between Issei and Mira silently, asked. No, I don't have any, Rias shook her head. She too just watched the exchange just now silently. Part amazed by how strong Issei was. If only I have someone as strong as him in my peerage, Rias silently thought. How much time do you need to train Rias-sama's peerage, Diodora-sama? Grafia then turned to Diodora. How about 10 days? Is that fine with you, Riser? Diodora once again assumed his usual small smile face and asked Riser. TCH, fine. There's no problem with Riser, Riser ASN word. Then 10 days for now, the rating game shall be begun. I hope both sides will prepare well for it. I shall take my leave now to report this to Sirzex-sama, Rias-sama, Riser-sama, Diodora-sama. Grafia politely bowed to the three devil nobles and then left via her magic circle. You better train well, my beloved Rias. Don't want you to have any petty excuses left when you lose, after all. Riser mocked. Just you wait, Riser. My peerage shall defeat yours, Rias said confidently to Riser. We shall see, my beloved Rias. We shall see, Riser and his peerage then disappeared through their own magic circle. Finished with the Phoenix, Rias turned towards the Astaroth. So what's your plan, Diodora? Diodora and Issei just exchanged knowing looks between them at that training camp. Obviously, the Grimoire peerage could be seen standing on the foot of a mountain. All of them could be seen carrying large bags with weights. It could be seen at the one carrying the largest of them all was Kaneko. Telling us to wait here, and yet the ones who are late, just what are those guys thinking? Kaneko whispered in complaint. Now, Kaneko. May be there still preparing the training equipment for us. Yuto tried to calm Kaneko down. Just as Yuto finished his words, Astaroth teleportation circle appeared on the ground near them. From it paired the two persons that proposed this entire training camp idea. Diodora was still in casual clothes similar to what he wore yesterday, while Issei was also wearing his white armor. Both of them were carrying huge bags on them, much larger than the ones that the Grimoire peerage carried. Damn it, Hikumen, why do I have to bring all of this thing with me? It's heavy, Diodora complained. Aren't you the one that is courting my sister? Astaroth. How can you date a dragoness if you aren't strong enough to protect her? Issei countered. At that reply, Astaroth shut up. Oh yeah, hey, Kiba, here. Issei said as he threw another large bag at Yuto. Catching it, Yuto couldn't even stand normally any longer due to the weight. Wait, Hikumen-san, what is this? Kiba said as he adjusted the new weight addition. You're a knight, aren't you? That is to increase your speed and stamina. Now if there's no question, let's climb, Issei said and then began to climb with Diodora. Wait, what about your bags? For what purposes are those? Rias asked. Oh, these are for our own training. Didn't you hear? This guy is courting a dragoness, so it's only right that he at least has a physical strength comparable to a dragon. Issei answered. Looking at the enormous size of the bags, it's obvious just how heavy those bags were. Rias and Akino could sense how there's no lightning magic at all. While Yuto and Kaneko could sense how those bags were truly heavy. One can only guess how strong those guys were. That Diodora guy, I thought he was a long-ranged fighter like Akino-senpai. Looks like I'm wrong, Kaneko said in surprise. Strength comparable to a dragon, huh? I wonder how strong that is compared to devils. Yuto laughed nervously at the end of his words. What do you think, Bushu? Akino asked Rias. This is really surprising. The last time I saw Diodora, he's nowhere this strong. Even with Ajuka's help, I can only wonder what kind of training he does, Rias answered. At the end of those words, Diodora could be seen sneezing really loud. Oi, don't just dawdle around there. We have to reach the summit before the sun is at the topmost position, Issei as he turned his head back. Coming, the Grimoire peerage said at the same time. With that, the Grimoire peerage also climbed the mountain behind the future brothers-in-law duo. Now that's what I call a big mansion, Issei remarked as the group reached the summit. If he had to be honest, he was truly impressed by what he saw. Even I have to admit that this mansion of yours are nice, Rias, Diodora said. Alright. Now all of you should put down your belongings first, then we will start our training, Issei said. After the peerage dropped their things inside the mansion, they went back to the courtyard in front of the mansion where Issei and Diodora were waiting. Both of them also had dropped the huge bags they carried, probably sent back to their original places via teleportation magic. So, Hikuman-san, what are we going to do for training? Rias asked the masked guy. Alright, so Grimoire-san and Himehima-san are going to fight Astaroth. Kiba and Tuju-san will fight me. We're going to see how you fight first before planning the training schedule, Issei answered. 2-on-1, aren't you gonna be overwhelmed, Hikuman-san? Akino asked. Don't worry about me. My draconic physique is strong enough to face two of you at the same time. And Astaroth doesn't deserve my sister if he can't even handle this. On that note though, can you please go all out and use your fallen angel powers, Himehima-san? Issei replied. Astaroth let out an indignant shout at the statement where he didn't deserve Asia. At Issei's words, the group's atmosphere suddenly went tense. How did you know? Rias stuttered. I have quite a few fallen angel acquaintances and know their smell, so I can know one from kilometers away, Issei nonchalantly said. At the answer, the group relaxed a bit. Acquaintances. Who are they, Hikuman-san? Akino asked. Well, I met Azazel's daughter recently. And I also met the pervert once when I was a child. I don't remember it clearly though, Issei half lied. He wasn't even conscious when his father and Azazel conversed. Well, alright, if that's what you want. But don't cry if you lose, alright. Rias confidently said. We will see, Diodora smirked in response. We lost, Rias said in disbelief as the Grimoire peerage light on the ground. You did, Issei confirmed as he dispelled his claws. But how? How can you use fallen angels' abilities? Akino asked Diodora, who somehow pulled a book out of nowhere and now was reading it, while his eyes still closed. I fought a fallen angel once. I copied his powers back then, Diodora answered while flipping a page. And you even copied Akino's attacks, how? Rias also asked. Her magics are just normal magic fused together to form complex new ones. Since it's not a clan ability like your power of destruction, I can easily copy it given enough time, Diodora answered. So, should you be the one to give out an explanation why they lost, or should I? Issei asked. I think you should. I want to finish this book first. Diodora nonchalantly said. Alright, then we will start from the weakest one. At Issei's words, the whole peerage tensed. The weakest is Kiba. Issei turned to look at the blonde swordsman. Me. The blonde said in surprise. You're fast, and your swordsmanship is something that I have to admit even I can't compare to right now, but that's where your advantage ends. Your body can't take a hit, and that will be a huge disadvantage since you're going to fight an enemy with more numbers than you. You're basically like a glass cannon. Once used, it breaks. And the last thing is, you're too damn noble. I know you're a knight, and not that being noble is a bad thing, but I know what kind of guy the chicken is once I saw him. He will play dirty if he has to. And sometimes you have stooped to the same level if you want to win, Issei explained. Yuto looked like he was hit by bricks at Issei's explanation, but it's not like it's wrong. Maybe he had to swallow his pride and play dirty if he wanted to win against Riser's peerage. That's why for the next few days, you're going to wear weights on your body while fighting against me one-on-one. You can dodge, but you can't move. This is to increase your physical strength, stamina, and reflexes, and your speed to a lesser extent, Issei continued. Kiba nodded in agreement at the training plan. And the next is, Rias. The Grimoire heiress just nodded in acknowledgement. To be honest, you have the firepower. What you lack is control. The power of destruction is strong, sure, but you can't just throw it around like a bunch of flowers. What you really need right now is creativity, that and experience. You have to learn how to make your attacks more efficient and dangerous to your enemies. Remember, in wars, the winner lives. The loser dies, Issei said in a fatalistic tone. In this aspect, you will be guided by Diodora. Because honestly, I suck at magic, even with my draconic enhancement, Issei gestured towards Diodora, who nodded in acknowledgement. The group laughed at Issei's honesty, but then the situation turned serious once again. Sighing, Issei continued, and, frankly, I don't know what I'm going to do with both of you right now, Tuju-san, Himahima-san. In terms of control, firepower, strength and etc., the two of you are the most balanced at this group. I know that you haven't give it your all yet. The two became tense at Issei's words. But I know you have your own reasons for it. So, I won't pry, and for now we can just focus on increasing your experiences in battles, understood? Both of them nodded in affirmative. Alright, then, get up. It's time to train, Issei said as he summoned his claws again. Diodora also closed his book and put it in some place. Wait, like, right now? Rias asked. Yes, right now, Issei nodded. And so Grimoire Peerage knew the training hell from the brothers-in-law duo. At night, the group, except Issei, could be seen resting in a room in the mansion. Except for Diodora that was normally flipping the pages of his book, everyone else was breathing heavily. This is truly a training camp from hell. I'm so exhausted, Yuto said. Kaneko agreed. Be prepared then, because it seems tomorrow will be worse than this, Diodora cruelly added as he flipped another page. At that comment, everyone groaned in displeasure. The silence was then broken by the orc president. Hey, Diodora, Rias said. What? Why did you and Hakumen-san carry those large bags? I mean, I know about your reason, but I don't think that Hakumen-san needed to do that. Except that he's also in training, Rias asked in curiosity. After showing an annoyed expression to what happened that morning for an instant, Diodora schooled his expression and answered, well, I can't say I know anything about my beloved brother-in-law, but if I have to guess. If you have to guess. The Grimoire Peerage droned in curiosity at the same time. I think his reason is similar to mine. At least, I don't think our reasons aren't that dissimilar. Diodora let out a wistful smile while the Grimoire Peerage just tilting their heads in confusion. Don't think too much about it. Alright, just focus on resting so that you can focus on your training tomorrow, Diodora coughed awkwardly. At that the peerage let out another groan. Outside the mansion, Issei could be seen sitting atop the grasses while looking upwards at the moon. His mask lying beside him. Thinking about someone, Issei. Albion's voice suddenly appeared. Albion, why did you just appear now? And I don't know what you're talking about, Issei answered. I have been sleeping. Even a bodiless dragon like me need one, you know. And we know where this is going to lead to, Issei. Just be honest, Albion said. Huff, I guess you're right, Albion. It's been 10 years since I last saw her. I'm sure she's become more beautiful woman now 10 years have passed, Issei chuckled wistfully. Thinking about your mate. For the last time, she's not my mate, Albion, Issei denied exasperatedly. Hey, say what you will, Issei. I know it. Your father knows it. Your mother knows it. And hell, I'm pretty sure that Perv, Azazel, knows it too, Albion said sarcastically. Even if that's true, she might not like me back, you know, Issei whispered. You admit that you like her then. And I'm not going to answer that one. Whatever makes you sleep at night, Issei. Whatever makes you sleep at night. We all know you fell in love with her at the first sight. Albion once again said in sarcastic tone. As the silence descended once more, Albion decided to speak a little bit more. Or, did your feelings to protect her change after all of this time? They didn't, and you know it. It's as just. For all this time I wanted to become strong just so that I can protect her, you know, but then my memory came back, and I realized the stake is higher than I realized before, Issei admitted. Opening square bracket . Rizvam, huh? Yeah, Rizvam. At the name, Issei's gaze sharpened. If someone that knew his father saw that him, they would recognize that gaze. That's the gaze that his father had back in his younger days, back when he hadn't settled down yet, back when he was also known as the Dragon of Slaughter. A gaze full of hatred, rage, and madness that's worthy to belong to the so-called evil dragon of evil dragon. Rizvam, as Issei repeated the name in his mind, he gritted his teeth and clenched his fists. You will pay. In a cafe near Kuo Academy, Issei and Diodora could be seen sitting across each other. Diodora was drinking a cup of tea with complicated name and reading his book at the same time while Issei was drinking a cup of milk with ice. Something that Diodora deemed as uncivilized. With their calm expression, one would think that the battle against Riser's peerage that happened that afternoon ended in a good outcome. The reality was crueler than that though. You know, from your expression, you seem to know that this is going to happen, Diodora opened the conversation. Silent for a while, Issei decided to answer while sighing, actually, yeah. I expect this outcome. The Grimoires' disadvantage are numbers and experience, but with our help, I was hoping that they would be strong enough that they at least would have a 50% chance of win if they had a good strategy. Oh, so, you're saying their strategy is a bad one. I personally think trapping the chickens' peerage and then eliminating them group by group is a good idea, Diodora gave his opinion. I'm not saying the strategy itself is a bad one entirely. Only the part where they finally fought Riser himself, Issei explained. Ah, yes, that. I can see what you mean. They've seen how that Rook girl used her disadvantage in numbers to her own advantage, and yet when they went against the chicken, it's as if all of strategies and tactics were thrown out of the window, Diodora remarked. They should have used Kiba and Tuju-san to block the chicken's attacks while Himehima-san and Grimori-san attacked him from distance to make him run out of stamina. Why? Oh, you think that could work against his regeneration power? Diodora raised an eyebrow. It's not a complete 100%, but there's a chance. Tuju-san could block chicken's attack, while Kiba could create words that could absorb chicken's flames. At the same time, Himehima-san and Grimori-san would attack from long range. It takes time, but I'm sure we could exhaust the chicken's stamina this way. Even his regeneration must have a limit, Issei explained, and instead they crowded around him like uncivilized savages. Didn't they know that it will just give him a chance to eliminate all of them at the same time? Hey, I'm really glad we managed to save my beloved Asia before them. I shudder to think what I will do to that damned chicken if my beloved Asia is to be touched by him, Diodora let out a shudder. Tisk, get in line, Astaroth. I will spill his innards first, Issei replied. Perhaps, Diodora smirked. Oh well, I will take my leave now, Doob. He then stood up from his seat. Do you have something to do? Issei asked. I have a training session tonight with my brother. Like you said, my strength right now isn't enough to protect Asia, Diodora answered. Good luck then, brother-in-law, Issei said in sincere tone as he lifted his cup. TCH, I'm off, Diodora said before he went out of the cafe. Issei, is this fine? Albion asked after a while. Drinking his cup first, Issei answered. I'm also indignant at this outcome, Albion, especially after that shit the chicken pulled at the end. But that's also the only card we have right now. And we don't have enough to retaliate against him. As much as I hate to say it, you're right. Still, is there nothing we can do? I see your pride as a dragon was insulted same as me, huh, Albion. Huff, you and Diodora. Maybe the ones that taught those kids directly, but that doesn't mean I don't have a hand in it. And I hate seeing that shitty chicken so high and mighty after defeating them in such cheap way. Same as you, Albion. Same as you. How about we go home, and I go to my mindscape? You seem really eager to spar against me again. Well, it's a good training method, although only an image training. And I can feel that it helps me in mastering divine dividing. That night at the training camp after their conversation, Albion had brought Issei into his mindscape to help training him in using divine dividing. It's quite effective, with how the time flowed slower there than in the real world. But of course, Issei's badly defeated the few first times. Albion might be a really large dragon, but he wasn't a slouch. After paying for his and Diodora's drinks, Issei left the cafe. Seeing that it's already night, Issei decided to take a shortcut to get home. Hey, girl, come on, just come with us. We will show you a good time. A leery voice sounded out from one of the alleys near Issei. Yeah, just come with us. We don't bite, another voice sounded out. I'm sorry, but there's somewhere else that I have to go to. A girl's voice answered firmly. Just my luck. The first time I choose to take a shortcut, this happens, Issei lamented in his mind. What do you want to do? Albion asked. What else? Just ignoring the girl after this will leave a bad taste in my mouth, Issei answered. With that Issei stepped into the alley. As he got into the alley though, a certain familiar scent entered his nose. He might just join the supernatural recently, but ever since he awakened, Issei somehow kept remembering this certain scent. One that he smelt right now. A shame you didn't bring a white horse though, huh, Issei? Albion teased. Walking closer to group, Issei could see 5 thugs surrounding who seemed to be the girl. Hey, I'm in quite a bad mood right now, so can you please? Get away from her before I break your bones. Issei asked the thugs. Huh, what's this? A thug with a leery voice, that seemed to be the leader, said as he turned back. Hey, brat, are you lost? Why not just scram and… Alright, you want me to break your bones. Understood, Issei cut in. In an instant, Issei let out a punch at the man's torso. Some fractured ribs, maybe got to the spine, Albion commented. Boss, one of the thugs shouted. Issei then hit him with a roundhouse kick at the back. Definitely broken spine, you bastards, the leftover thugs said as they charged towards Issei. For the first one, Issei swept his legs and then kicked his face. The second apparently had a knife, so he stabbed forward, only for Issei to dodge and smashed his elbow upwards, breaking it. Issei then hit the thug's head on the side with his bottom fist. Seeing as all of his friends had been incapacitated, the last one tried to run away, only for Issei to chase him and hit the back of his head with a palm attack. The first one will probably have nosebleed, broken nose, fractured skull and concussion. The second one, broken elbow and concussion, maybe also fractured skull. Meanwhile the last one managed to get away with probably just a concussion, lucky guy. After checking that all of the thugs were knocked out, Issei then turned towards the girl. It's no mistake. The scent comes from her, Issei thought. Thank you for your help, but I can handle them, really, the girl said. Don't worry, Issei spaced out at the end. How could he not? The girl that he had always thought of all this years was now in front of him. She was taller, around 175 centimeters to Issei's 185 feet, and older than he remembered, but 10 years had passed so it's obvious. Her white silver hair had her thighs while the part near her left ear was braided. Her shining clear blue sky-colored eyes were partly covered by her bangs. She wore black open-shoulder shirt, white-colored skirt that reached a bit below her knees, and blue-colored sneakers. For Issei, it's almost like she became much more beautiful than before, if that's even possible. Anna-chan, Issei said. Huh, why do you? Wait, no, it can't be, eyes. Valiana Lucifer, the princess of hell, exclaimed. After the two awkwardly looked at each other for a moment, Issei decided to break the moment. Coughing awkwardly, Issei began speaking. So, Anna, huh, yes, Valiana asked, confused. Welcome home, Issei let out a weak smile as he scratched his head. Silent for a while, Valiana then also let out a big smile. I'm home. Mom, why hasn't Izzy back yet? Asia asked Tomo. After 2 weeks living with the Hyodo Dube, Asia finally was used to with her new family. I think he's meeting your future sister-in-law. Tomo guessed as she put a finger to her chin. Honey, by what reason did you conjure such answer? Chrome asked with wide eyes. Call it a woman's instinct, Tomo answered while hiding her mouth behind her hand. Really, Chrome replied in doubt. Why not we make a bet? If I win, then our treasury will have to be doubled by tomorrow, Tomo offered. And if not? Chrome grinned. Well, maybe I can give you a good time, I'm pretty sure Asia would like a younger sibling. Tomo let out an alluring smile while crossing her arms under her assets, greatly emphasizing them. You're on. Chrome let out a loud exclamation while being red-faced. Suddenly, they could hear the front door being opened. I'm home. Issei's voice could be heard throughout the house. Welcome home, Issei, Tomo answered. Eyes knee. Asia shouted as she hugged Issei. Whoa, Asia, why the hug? Issei asked. You aren't home yet, so I became worried, Asia answered. Sorry to make you worried, Asia. Well, that's because I met someone on the way here, Issei answered. Someone? Asia asked in curiosity. Someone. Tomo, in mirth. Someone. Chrome, in apprehension. Anna, it's fine. You can come out now, Issei signaled. Valiana then stepped out from behind the wall. Good night, Mr. Hyodo, Mrs. Hyodo, Asia-chan, Valiana greeted with an unsure smile. Issei had told her about his current family situation on the way. Hey, I told you to just call me Chrome, right, Valiana? Issei has thought of you as family after all, Chrome said, although with quite a sad tone. Why the sigh, Dad? Issei asked. Oh, don't mind me, son. I just lost a bet with your mother, so I will go outside for a while. Valiana, just make yourself at home, alright? Chrome said with a fatherly smile. Alright, Mr. Chrome-san. Thank you, Valiana said with a grateful smile. Alright, kids, I'm off, Chrome said as he teleported using a draconic spell. Be careful, Dad, Issei and Asia said at the same time. Wow, your father must be really strong, eyes. Able to use high-level spell easily like that, Valiana commented. Well, he was the evil dragon of evil dragons. After all, Issei replied. So, you must be Valiana, yes? Tomo asked. Why yes, Mrs. Hyodo. No need to be so tense, dear. As my husband has just said, your family after all. Just call me Tomo, alright? Okay, Tomo-san, Valiana relented. Anna-ne, Izne has told me a lot of things about you, but I never know you're so pretty, Asia said. At the word, Anna-ne, Valiana just froze. Anna-ne, Valiana whispered. Did I misspeak? Asia asked in worry. After staring off for a few seconds, Valiana quickly shook her head. No, it's alright, you can call me, Anna-ne. Valiana let out a big smile. Alright, Asia also let out a smile at that. Why are you so cute? Anna exclaimed as she suddenly hugged Asia to her breasts that didn't lose out to Tomo. If Motohama was there, he would be amazed that there's someone who could beat Akino's breast size of 102 centimeters besides Tomo's 110 centimeters, even if it's only by a few centimeters. Right, my daughter is so cute. Right. Tomo also joined in. As Issei watched the spectacle, he then smiled a content smile. Finally having a good mood, Issei. Albion spoke after being silent for a while. Yeah, it's just. I feel my family is finally complete, Issei answered. I'm glad for you, Issei. Thanks, Albion, Issei replied as he watched his now complete family. At the early morning the next day, Issei could be seen dragged by Anna. Oi, Anna. Slow down, Issei said. Come on, eyes. I want to show you my peerage. This is the peerage that you're going to become the king of. At least show some excitement, Anna replied. Are you sure though? The queen piece is the most important amongst all of the evil pieces. The bond between the king and queen of a peerage greatly affects the leader of the peerage's ability, right? Are you sure I'm worthy of such thing? Issei asked. At Issei's questions, Anna stopped. From her irritated expression, it's clear they've been talking about this for a long time. Eyes, let me ask you this. Will you ever hurt me? Anna asked back with a serious expression. Of course not, Anna. You're my childhood friend, and also my best friend. I swore to protect you 10 years ago, and that will never change, Issei answered without any shred of doubt. Then I made the right choice. Now, Let's go, Anna said as they resumed walking. Stupid eyes. How can you say that with a straight face? Anna thought as she secretly blushed. Soon enough they arrived at the park, the same one where Issei and Anna played in their childhood. There are already 4 persons waiting there. The first one was a bespectacled young man with blonde hair with a strand of hair across his face, who was dressed in a business suit. This must be Arthur Pendragon, Anna's knight. The one besides him was clearly his younger sister and Anna's pawn, Lefay Pendragon. She had a slim body, wavy blonde hair and blue eyes. Her attire consisted of a sorceress-like dress with a huge blue hat with a black bow and yellow stars and matching cape with pink flowers and a white interior. All in all, she fitted the witch trope to a T. Another male in the group was a young man with a short brown-colored hair dressed in what seemed to be ancient Chinese armor. This is Baiko, Anna's rook. The last member of the group and the only female left. She was a beautiful young woman with voluptuous figure. Long black hair with split bangs, and hazel gold eyes with cat-like pupils. She wore a black kimono, a yellow obi, a set of golden beads, and an ornately detailed headband. The kimono featured a red interior and it was open at her shoulders, giving view to her 98-centimeter large breasts. And if Issei didn't see wrongly, she had a pair of black cat ears and 2 black tails. She's Kuroka, a Nekomata and Anna's bishop. Somehow, Issei could smell a familiar scent from her. Ah, you're back, Anna. So, is he that boyfriend you keep telling us about? Baiko opened the conversation. Baiko, he isn't my boyfriend. I told you, is only my childhood friend. Anna stuttered. Boyfriend, childhood friend, no difference. Hey, new guy. Anna said you're a half-dragon. Let's fight, shall we? Baiko grinned. Baiko. Anna shouted. Stay calm, Baiko. At least let him introduce himself first. My name is Arthur Pendragon, and this is my younger sister, Lefay Pendragon. We're the descendants of the original Arthur Pendragon and Morgan Lefay. Nice to meet you, Arthur introduced himself as he offered a handshake. Nice to meet you, Lefay also said energetically. Name's Issei, Hyodo Dube Issei. Just call me Eyes. Nice to meet you too, kinsman, Issei said as he accepted the handshake. Kinsman, I thought you're Japanese, Arthur said. Notice the Dube part in my last name. My father is an Irish dragon, to be exact. But still, although I'm Irish and you're Welsh, we're both Celtics, aren't we? Issei replied. Ah, I see. Then, nice to meet you too, kinsman. Still, you seem to be unsurprised with the fact that both of us descended from both original Arthur and Morgan Le Fay, given what that fact entails, Arthur said in curiosity. Every proper Celt, supernatural being that still followed the old ways would know that Arthur actually loves Morgan, and that Mordred is Arthur's legitimate heir. It's Geoffrey that spread the false story about Arthur. Due to how the church frowned upon such incestuous relationship and how widespread the church's influence was back during the medieval era. I expected that the truth would have been made known by now though, Issei snorted. Well, it's not that simple, you know. After Christianity spread to the British Isles, my ancestors chose to withdraw from the near side of the world to the far side, or the supernatural world as we know it. To announce the truth now, when the lies have taken root too deep inside the society, that's too risky for everyone, Arthur explained. Ah, I see. True, such revelations can make quite the impact. Especially if the world realizes that the Pendragons are still alive, Issei said. Now, let's stop this serious talk, alright. We finally get another fine specimen of man here. Let's not ruin it with being all tense and serious, right, Eyes-kun? Kuroka said cheerfully as she hugged Issei's arm close to her breasts. Kuroka. Let Eyes' arm go. Anna said, flustered. Era, are you jealous? Anna Nian. Looks like Baiko isn't that far off from the mark then, Kuroka teased as she hugged Issei's arm tighter. Kuroka. Anna shouted, now heavily blushing. Don't be so flustered, Anna Nian. After all, Eyes Nian's fine with this, right, Eyes Nian? Era, why did you look at me so intensely? Oh my, are you perhaps have fallen in love with me, Eyes Nian? Kuroka teased Issei. Eyes. Anna now switched the target of her shout. After observing Kuroka for a few more seconds, Issei finally spoke, you know, you greatly resembled this other girl I know. Both of you have this similar scent. Resembling another girl. Similar scent. No way. You by chance, does she have white hair and gold eyes? Kuroka asked frantically. Yes, she does. Is she perhaps your sister? Issei asked. Why yes. If she's the one I think she is, then she is probably my younger sister, Sharon, Kuroka answered. Your sister? Issei asked. Kuroka and Anna then explained to Issei of how Kuroka's and Sharon's family used to live in happiness, but then a bunch of devils attacked the family searching for someone, resulting in their parents' death and their capture. The twist was that the devils were Rizvim's subordinates that were sent to search for Anna, but found the family by chance. Thinking of the potential the two young Nekomata had, Rizvim ordered them to be captured for his experiments and their parents killed. After years of imprisonment, Kuroka managed to break herself and her sister out, but was forced to leave her sister behind to turn the pursuers' attention on her. It's during this chase that she met Anna and became her bishop. After that, Kuroka had been looking for her sister for years, without any result. Damn, then this is bad, really, really bad, Issei muttered. What's wrong, eyes? Anna asked. Issei in turn then explained them about the current situation. About Rias Grimori and her peerage, about Riser Phoenix, and the engagement between them. No. Sharon. Kuroka whispered in panic. Calm down, Kuroka. Don't worry, we will save her, Anna said. Anna, Kuroka said. I'm sorry, Baiko. But looks like you won't have your battle with eyes, Anna said. Nah. Don't worry about that. The most important thing right now is to save Kuroka's sister from that perverted bird, Baiko said. But how are we going to plan to save her, Anna? Arthur asked. Don't worry. From what Eyes told, we have a card we can use. I have a plan, but, Eyes, I will need your help, Anna said to Issei. You just need to ask, Anna. Besides, I also have business with that chicken, Issei said. Alright, now listen well, everyone, Anna said as the female Lucifer's peerage came close together. At the day of the wedding, the male members of Anna's peerage be seen waiting outside of the ballroom where the wedding will take place, including the new holder of the Queen Piece. All of them were wearing formal clothes, even Baiko. The only exception was Issei, who was wearing his Hakumen armor. Man, how can the girls be so long in getting done? We have sparred for hours before getting here, and yet they still haven't done already. Baiko loudly complained. Just be patient, Baiko. You know girls have much more things to be concerned about than us boys, Arthur said. I know. But doesn't mean I have to like it, damn it, Baiko muttered. If it is any consolation. I think the spar we had was really fun, Issei said. Yeah, that's true. You really have a strong punch, Eyes, even without that draconic enhancement of yours. And this is the first time I have seen someone going against Arthur's Excalibur ruler and went unscathed, Baiko said excitedly. Adjusting his glasses, Arthur said, yes, I have to admit I'm quite surprised by how things turn out. Maybe after this we can spar. Again, sure, whatever fancies you, Issei answered. Sorry we're late. Oh hey, A-. Whatever Issei wanted to say disappeared from his mouth the moment he saw what Anna wore. Lefei wore a light blue dress with glittering stars adorning it. Kuroka wore a more formal version of her usual kimono except the colors were gold and black with red, but it's what Anna wore that truly captivated Issei. She wore strapless black dress with slit on the left leg whose color degraded from black into blue and then finally white at the skirt part of the dress as well as a pair of long gloves. The dress had the Lucifer emblem of 12 devil wings on the torso part, but with additional greater pair of wings outside the emblem, colored black and white. Does it look good, Eyes? Anna shyly asked. All of her hair was braided and laid down on her right shoulder. Truly a princess, huh? Albion said. Issei just nodded dumbfoundedly at both questions. Era. It seems our king's brain just short-circuited, Kuroka giggled. Huh, what? Cough, well, let's go in, shall we? Issei tried to deflect the attention. Era, don't think you can get away. You still have to accompany our queen. You know, Kuroka smirked mischievously. Issei just went silent at that but then offered his arm to Anna. The others knowingly decided to ignore how stiff his movements were. Shall we, Anna? Yes. Anna brightly smiled. Announcing Valiana Lucifer's peerage, the herald at the door announcing the peerage. Her pawn, Lefay Pendragon. Her knight, Arthur Pendragon. Her bishop, Tuju Kuroka. Her rook, her bishop, Sun Baiko. And her king, Hikumen. At the mention of him as Anna's king, the whole place quieted down and looked at him. Here comes the pressure. Indeed. As the peerage walked into the middle of the ballroom, Kuroka went to look for her sister, with the others accompanying her, leaving Issei and Anna with each other. The first person that unexpectedly met them was the Astaroth's heir. So, when were you going to tell me? Were you even going to tell me, Doob? Diodora asked with irritated expression on his face, all pretense of Issei's alias forgotten. Sorry about that, Astaroth. To be honest, I only met Anna again a few days ago, Issei explained. So, you just become her king a few days ago. Diodora stared at Issei with resigned eyes. Yep, Issei answered. Ah, you suck for an older brother-in-law, you know. Oh well, nice to meet you, milady. I'm Diodora Astaroth, the heir to Astaroth clan. Diodora then introduced himself to Anna with a bow. Nice to meet you too, Diodora-san. Brother-in-law. Wait, do you mean you and Asia? Anna gasped. No, nothing like that. We're currently just dating right now, Diodora explained. Ah, I see. Oh, do you know by chance if Inga is here? Anna asked. Due to how Ajuka just took the mantle of Beelzebub for this generation before returning it to the original family later. Both Beelzebub and Astaroth clans have close relationships. Inga Beelzebub. I'm sorry, milady. But last I hear, he is on another culinary adventure on the human world, Diodora answered. That's just so like him. Ignoring any social events and just go to the human world, Anna giggled. If that's all, I ask your permission to excuse myself, milady. Until then, Diodora then left after excusing himself. Hey, Astaroth, not going to leave a message for Asia? Issei asked. I'm going to ask her to a date now anyway. Mao knows I need it after your stupid shenanigans. See you later, Doob. See you later, Astaroth. So, the Astaroth heir, huh? Anna spoke after Diodora left. He is a cool guy, and Asia can do worse than him. At least he sincerely loves Asia, Issei replied. True, Anna smiled. And this Inga, is he the Beelzebub heir? Issei asked. Yes. During my training journey, I met the other heirs of the Royal Devil clans. But as you can see, all of them are unique, Anna explained. Ouch, Anna, you wound me. Does that mean you think of me as abnormal? A male voice sounded out behind them. Rin, you're here, Anna happily exclaimed. Lindo Satan here, in the flesh, Lindo grinned. His arms spread out widely. Lindo was a young man probably 5 years older than Issei. He had short messy black hair and azure blue eyes. When he grinned, his canines seemed to be more pronounced than other devils. Ni-san, I told you not to go off on your own, a new voice spoke. That's just how he is, Yukio. Let him be, another voice replied. Yukio. Kallian. Anna called the new arrivals. I see this as your new king, Anna. Yukiri and Satan, just call me Yukio, everyone does. Nice to meet you, Hikumen, Yukio introduced himself, offering his hand. Yukirian was a perfect copy of his twin elder brother, if not for the neater hair, glasses and 2 moles underneath his left eye. My name is Kallian Leviathan. A pleasure to meet you, Kallian introduced himself, nodding to Issei. Kallian seemed to be of the same age as the Satan heirs. He had shoulder-length purplish-green hair with bangs that covered his left eye and green eyes. Nice to meet all of you as well. And my real name is Hyodo Doob Issei. Hikumen is just an alias, Issei replied, shaking Yukio's hand. So, what brings you here, Anna? Lindo asked. I can ask you the same, Rin. Let me guess. You know I was coming here and hoped she came along. Isn't that right, Lindo tilde? Anna asked with a teasing smile. Goo. I don't know what you are talking about. Lindo denied. Ni-san, just give up already. Everyone can see it clearly, Yukirian sighed as he adjusted his glasses. Sorry, Rin, but she isn't here, Anna consoled Lindo. I see, Lindo muttered sadly. And what about you, Kallian? You may not know, but Lilitifa is a model for the Grimoire. This marriage between the Grimoire heiress and the Phoenix brat might make him think he can get his hands on her. And you know I will. Kill him first before he even manages to do that, Callian answered. You know that will cause war, right? Anna's sweat dropped. So, that would mean my father and I have something productive to do. Well, besides me trying to win Lilith's favor, that is, Callian replied nonchalantly. Don't worry about that, Callian. I have a plan, Anna assured the Leviathan heir. I don't know why you're doing this, but. Thanks, Anna. Callian smiled in gratitude. Then I will take my leave now. I still have someone to see. Bye, guys, Anna giggled and waved. See you later, Anna, Callian nodded. Bye, Anna. Lindo waved frantically while Yukirian tried to restrain his brother. That Lindo guy sure is friendly, Issei remarked as they walked. Yes, he is. Rin helped me in getting used to hell when I first arrived here years ago. Along with Yukio. I owe them a lot, Anna replied. I see. Then I'm grateful to him. Who is this someone you need to meet? Issei asked. Well, since Kuroka went to meet her sister, and the others came along with her, I thought I can also meet my old friend. Your old friend? Issei asked, confused. Anna-chan. A familiar female voice said to Anna. Akeno-chan. Anna greeted excitedly. Issei said dumbfoundedly. Like Kuroka, Akeno was also wearing a formal kimono, except it's not as revealing in black and purple in color. Anna-chan, you really came. Akeno said. Of course. How can I let that chicken get his hands on my friend? Anna answered. Wait, does that mean he's also here? Akeno asked in worry. No, don't worry, he isn't here. In fact, he doesn't know anything about this at all. Anna assured. Era, really? I'm glad. Sometimes he can get really wild like a dog, Akeno said wistfully. Don't worry, Akeno-chan. Everything will be fine. I have a plan. Era. Then I will trust you, Anna-chan, Akeno giggled before she left. By the time Issei got out of his stupor, Akeno had already left. Anna, you know Himahima-san? Issei asked. She's the old friend I'm talking about. Anna answered. And this, he is her boyfriend. Ah, look, it's Searsex, Anna said. Searsex Lucifer could be said as the male version of Rias. He had the me shade of hair and eyes as his younger sister. As he stood on the raised dais in his ceremonial robe, it seemed he's going to be the official for the wedding. As the groom and bride arrived and the wedding process began, Issei could see the Tuju sisters holding each other as they looked towards the going-to-be married couple with worried expression. It seems Kuroka and her sister managed to reconciliate. I'm really happy for them. Anna whispered. But it won't mean anything as long as the wedding going through, Issei replied. Anna just nodded in agreement. As soon as Searsex arrived at tea, part where he asked if there's any objection, he gave a signal towards Anna. It's time, Issei thought. I object to this marriage. Anna shouted, causing murmurs among the guests. What? Who said that? Riser said angrily. It's me who said that, Riser-san, Anna said as she and Issei walked through the crowd. You might be the heiress of Lucifer, but what right you have objecting to Riser's marriage? It's exactly my right as the future queen of hell to do that when you cheated in the rating game. Preposterous. Under what evidence you spouted that nonsense? This evidence. Using a magic circle. Anna then showed a recording of the final minutes of the rating game. Riser could be seen threatening Rias under the threat of killing her peerage. Kaneko and Kiba were being choked by Riser while Akeno was stepped on by him. The most important rule of the rating game is how there can't be any threats on the participant's life nor any conscious attempts. What have you just done is completely dishonorable. With Anna's statement, the guests started to side with Anna and throw some contemptuous glares towards Riser. Where did you get this? Only people related to the rating game is supposed to know about this. I gave it to her, Issei answered. Why you damned lizard. Riser raged. Lizard, really? Is that the best you can do, chicken? Issei taunted. Why you bastard, Riser gritted. We have proof of your cheating, Riser-san. Do you have some explanation for this? Anna asked. Explanation? What does Rise have to explain? The game is over. Riser won, Rias lost, end of story. But that would really hurt your credentials, Riser-san, Anna frowned. Credentials? What do you know of credentials, you half-human? Trash, Riser shouted. At the word of half-human trash, Issei got ready to smash Riser to a pulp, but he was beaten to it by 2 killing intent. Hey, chicken brat, putting aside your impolite behavior towards Anna, don't you think you have been too far? Lindo said as azure flames raged around his body without even burning his clothes. The flame formed a pair of giant horns and a 2-pronged tail. Usually I would say you were exaggerating things, Ni-san. But this time I have to agree. You are too far, chicken brat, Yukirian said. His body was also wreathed in flames, which formed a smaller pair of horns compared to Lindo, and 4 pair of wings. Those are the azure flames. The Satan twin heirs must be really angry, if their clan ability manifests completely like that, many of the guests whispered. And no, our Riser didn't mean it like that. Lindo-sama, Yukirian-sama, Riser stuttered. Oi, brat, you should know that half of the royal devil clans, heirs are half devil, right? We and Mammon are half human. And don't let me get on the Asmodeus, heiress. Really, brat, do you want to die so much? Lindo sneered. At the mention of the Asmodeus, heiress, Riser paled. What's wrong with Asmodeus, heiress? Issei whispered. Well, Layla is not that bad. It's just, she is half god, Anna answered. Wait, are you saying she is a half devil, and a demi-goddess? Yeah, her mother is a goddess, Anna laughed nervously. Knowing he just dug himself deeper into Anna's accusation, Riser relented. Fine. Let's say Riser cheated, what do you want? Annulling the wedding, Riser said. Sort of. E will put your engagement with Rias Grimori, as the bet of a rating game, Anna offered, causing the murmurs among the crowd to increase in intensity. They couldn't just directly annul the wedding, as it would still be seen as tyrannical. But they could always use rating game as the bait. And say that Riser accept this bet, who is to say that Lizard won't spill all he knows about Riser's peerage? He knows about Riser's peerage. While we know nothing about yours. Not to say Riser will lose, but it doesn't seem fair when the stake is this big, does it? Riser replied. That's right. That's why the only one going to fight your peerage is Hakumen, Anna said confidently. Who, are you so confident that this lizard can beat me? Riser asked. Then why don't we up the ante a bit? If you win, then I will also marry you as a concubine, and my peerage will also belong to you as well. Anna offered again, causing an uproar. Anna. Issei turned his head so fast it might dislocate. This is the only way, eyes. You know it. Riser is definitely still wary of you from your last meeting. We need a bait equal to annulling this marriage in order to entice his greed, Anna whispered. But does it have to be you? This is beyond reckless, Issei asked in worry. Looking at Issei's worried face, even if it was hidden by the helmet, Anna wistfully smiled. I believe in you, eyes. I know you will win. And I know you need to do this. Anna. Don't worry, eyes. We trust you, Arthur added. Big bro is right. You can fight on par with big bro, so the chicken should be a piece of cake, LeFay smiled encouragingly. Kick his ass for me alright, bro. Baiko grinned. My sister's fate and mine depends on you, eyes Nian, so you better win, Kuroka said. Somehow the way she said that felt threatening. Alright, leave it to me. Issei answered. Finish saying your farewells, lizard. Then let's go. Riser then left the podium. Good luck, eyes. I will root for you, Anna said. Nodding back, Issei then left following Riser. Welcome, everyone. No Gameagen, will be the announcer for tonight's rating game. Tonight, we shall see the debut rating game of the new member of our own Princess of Hell's peerage, her own, King. The masked dragonkin, Hakumen. He will fight against the famous Riser Phoenix and his peerage. That's right, Eveon. This lone challenger will face an entire peerage all by himself. How will the Lucifer King fare against this experienced rating game player? We shall see if he is truly worthy to be the Prince of Hell. The light purple-haired devil, no Gameagen, announced. On the circular arena chosen as battlefield, Riser's peerage and Issei could be seen standing in front of each other by a few meters. Hey, you can still walk out, you know. Who knows, might let you visit beloved Anna after Riser take her as his concubine, Riser said offhandedly. You aren't worthy to say her name, chicken. Besides, are you sure you aren't the one who wants to walk out? Issei sneered. Take a look at the mirror. Who is the one keeps hiding their face all this time? Aren't you just a coward? Riser replied. Against Riser's comeback, Issei just chuckled. Ah, that's right. Seeing how my fight here will reflect on Anna's reputation, I think I should come clear then. Issei then did something no one would expect, even his own peerage, with the exception of the giggling Anna. Grabbing his helmet, Issei then took it off, letting his white and black colored hair free. It's quite suffocating there, Issei smirked at Riser. The significance in this action wasn't the fact that everyone now knew who it was under the helmet, but the fact that Issei's magical signature was no longer suppressed by the armor. Why you are a human. Riser flustered. Half human. I'm still a dragonkin, remember? Issei replied. To think that a half-breed such as you dare to set foot here. This is sacrilege. Riser accused. Oi, chicken, did you forget what the Satan twins said? Issei replied. Ku. Realizing his mistake, Riser could only stay silent. To think that the Lucifer's king is a half-dragon, this is a surprise indeed. Now, without further ado, let the game begins. No started the match. Gur, Mira, Sharia, Marion, Barent, attack him from the front. Ni, Li, Eel, and Nell, flank him, Riser commanded. Yes, Riser-sama, the pawns replied, before following Riser's order. Riser, don't you think this is high-handed? Riser's queen, Ubeluna, asked. No, Ubeluna. The half-breed is right. He might be half-human, but he is still a dragon, nonetheless, Riser answered. Hey, I'm glad you no longer underestimating me as much as before, chicken. But this is still nothing. Issei grinned, as he activated both Kosa and Kruba. In an instant, Issei was in front of Riser's arguably weakest pawn, Mira. Sinking his fist into the girl's stomach mercilessly, Issei then grabbed the girl and threw her at Sharia as hard as he could, resulting in both of them slamming onto the arena wall. Two of Riser's pawns retired, a mechanical voice announced. Surrounded by 6 pawns, Issei kept going towards the made pairs while ignoring the 2 pair of twins coming from his flanks. In shock from how Mira and Sharia were retired in an instant, both Marion and Barent weren't ready for the half-dragon grabbing their heads and slamming them onto each other. Even with their devil's physique, it would result in at least concussions, and worst scenarios, slight cracks. 2 of Riser's pawns retired. When the twins came, Issei just ignored them as La and Nell slammed their chainsaw on his body while Ni and Li hit his back. They attacked with their full power, yet only scratches appeared on the armor while Issei didn't move even a millimeter. You know, I almost regret wearing this armor now. Because all of you make this too easy. Issei shouted as he did a spinning kick, throwing the 4 pawns away and disarming the chainsaw twins, though none of them got retired. Grabbing the 2 chainsaws, Issei dashed and slashed the 4 pawns. The pawns let out painful screams before they got retired. Although they're gone, it's clear that they fared grievous wounds judging from the amount of blood wetting the ground. 4 of Riser's pawns retired. Don't you know that chainsaws are dangerous, chicken? You shouldn't have let underage children playing with them, Issei taunted. Grr, enough. Ubeluna, to the air. Revel, stay with me. Everyone else, crush that half-breed. Riser ordered. It's evident from their silence that Riser's Pira GE was too angry to properly answer Riser, so they just followed his order. Meanwhile, on the audience stand, a worried Arthur could be seen talking to Anna. Anna, is it just me, or does Eyes seem a bi? T2, different than when he sparred with us? Arthur asked. It's not your feeling, Arthur. Eyes is more ruthless than when he sparred with you, Anna answered with a frown. But why did he? If you're going to say he went easy on you and Baiko, you're wrong. It's just, my uncle told me about this. About how Eyes might take after his father, Anna said, rubbing her forehead in worry. His father? Arthur asked. I'm sure you already know who Eyes' father by now, right, Arthur? Yes, I have my slight suspicion when Eyes introduced himself as Irish and that he also has a dragon as father. But now, without doubt, his father is the Crescent Circle Dragon, Crom, Arthur about to say, only to be cut off by Anna. Shish, don't say it. We can't have everyone knows that Eyes' father used to be one of the evil dragons, Anna whispered. Realizing his mistake, Arthur just nodded. While being the son of an ex-evil dragon sure was something to be proud of, to let the information out now would be too Oh, risky, since Issei was a newcomer to the supernatural world by the devil's standard. And most importantly, Anna was afraid that someone might target Issei because of the information. Anna was confident that Issei was capable of facing any enemies. But she still didn't want him to face such risks if he could. It's just, my uncle said how Issei's father was really infamous for his battle maniac tendency and bloodthirst back during his era. While they have been calm until now, certain situations can make those instincts return subconsciously, just like what happened to Issei. Now, Anna explained. So basically, the more serious and life-risking a battle is, the more excited and ruthless Issei will be. Arthur concluded. Yes. After all, his father isn't also called the Crooked Slaughterer without a reason, Anna said, her frown deepened. Please, Issei. Please don't lose yourself, Anna prayed in her mind. Still want to hold back, Issei? Albion asked. Yeah, I'm saving you for the grand finale, after all, Issei answered. As you wish. Just don't get too overconfident, Albion advised. I know, but that's exactly why I'm saving you. I don't know how strong Riser's immortality is. Gotta save my trump card for the chicken. Issei reasoned. A wise decision, true. By the way, from above, Albion warned as Riser's knights, Carlamine and Cyrus, descended from the air for overhead strikes with their sword and Zweihander respectively. TCH, if it's just them without the queen, I can probably just tank them all. But while I'm resistant to the queen's explosion's flame, those shockwaves are really annoying. Issei thought as he stepped backwards, dodging the sword and the Zweihander and then the following explosions casted by Ubeluna. Chance. Riser's rooks, Isabella and Schwalen, said as they rushed towards Issei with fists ready. Coldly looking at the rooks, Issei now chose to stay at his place rather than retreating like before. Dodging the rooks, fists, Issei discreetly observed Riser's queen that was flying in the sky. Once he saw that the queen was once again ready to cast her explosions and the rooks retreated from the explosions zone, Issei grabbed one of the retreating Oaks quickly and then threw her at Ubeluna. Ubeluna, not expecting Issei to make such move, didn't manage to cancel her magic in time. Schwalen, the masked rook, Isabella, shouted as she saw her partner was hit by their ally's magic. One of Riser's rooks, retired. Don't lose your focus, Issei spoke softly as he dashed towards the still-stunned Isabella. Isabella didn't manage to defend herself b. E4 Issei grabbed her head, slammed it to his knee, shattering the mask in the process. Releasing the rook, the already unconscious rook was then retired. One of Riser's rooks, retired. Issei, what's with you and cracking people's skulls? Albion remarked. I don't know. I just feel that cracking skulls are very refreshing, Issei answered. You're a bad influence on our son, a frowning Tomo. Could be seen in the Hyododube residence as she watched her son's performance through a TV. Well, to be honest, I'm not surprised, remembering who his father is. Azazel surprisingly was also there. As he's also the one that made the TV able to show the rating game. Chrome, who was strangely silent from the beginning of the fight, now spoke. Tomo, if Issei isn't capable of at least this much, then it's either I fail in training him, or he is not my son at all. Remember, I might be a family man now, but I'm still the Crescent Circle Dragon, the Crooked Slaughter, and the Vanguard of Balur. An uncomfortable Tomo replied. But, Tomo, I didn't remember you being this hesitant about cracking or crushing skulls, or even outright slaughter back during the wars, Chrome countered as he looked at his wife. Those are wars, Tomo reasoned, and the family that I burnt down to the ground. Chrome continued. Tomo could only stay silent at the mention of that. Returning his sight to the TV, Chrome coldly said. That is a battlefield, Tomo, and therefore war. There is no such thing as mercy for the weak in the battlefield. That only exists in stupid dramas and fairy tales. War is cruel and merciless. And moreover, that lowly avian has messed with a dragon's pack, our pack. And until he proves himself as either a worthy opponent or worthy to be kept alive, then he shall be prey to be killed and eaten. And if our son isn't capable of doing it, I will. Looking back at Issei's fight, Tomo was glad that she had told Asia to buy ingredients for dinner that morning, knowing that with her current abilities, she should be able to protect herself. She didn't think her daughter was ready yet to see this side of the family. Issei, Tomo thought in worry, while Azazel just stared at the frowning mother with a stoic face. Two of Riser's knights retired. After the announcement, Issei then dropped the sword and Zweihander he used to eliminate the original owners of the weapons. Looking at the only one left of the attackers besides the queen, Issei snorted at the kimono-wearing bishop. Pitiful, Issei said before he suddenly disappeared. Before anyone could react, Issei's fist sunk in the bishop's stomach, instantly putting the latter into unconsciousness. One of Riser's bishop retired. Now, only 3 of you left, Issei stated as he looked at the remains of Riser's peerage. Revel, the last bishop and Riser's younger sister, hid behind her brother in fear. The audiences have now murmured among themselves for what they thought is overkill for the Phoenix peerage. Isn't that too much? But it's 16 against 1. But does he have to be that cruel? Well, Riser did mess with his queen. And I've heard that messing with a dragon's pack is a fool's errand. Tell me about it. I've heard rumors on how kingdoms have fallen because someone foolishly insulted or even somehow killed a dragon's mate. Such murmurs could be heard throughout the arena. Unconsciously, Anna started to bite her lips in response to the whispers, while Issei, ignoring the murmurs about him if he even heard them, just focused on the enemies in front of him. Albion, now, Issei thought. All right, Albion responded. Grr, Ubeluna. Riser shouted to his queen. Yet before any of them could do anything, something that they clearly didn't expect happened. Dragon Divider. The divine dividing appeared on Issei's back, stunning all who watched it, except his own peerage, of course. So, Issei has finally used divine dividing. Took him long enough, Baiko said in annoyance. It can't be helped, Baiko. We don't know the extent of Riser's so-called immortality. To use divine dividing now when Riser's peerage only has him and Ubeluna as able combatants is a wise move, Arthur said. Still, this feels so unfair with Issei not going all out from the start, Baiko reasoned. I'm afraid I have to agree with Arthur over this matter, Baiko. The risk is too high in this battle to fight fair, Kuroka seriously said, tightening her hold on her sister that sat on her lap. TCH. I hate to admit it, but I guess you're right, Baiko finally relented. The only member of the peerage that didn't say anything, Lefei, just looked at her queen who clenched her hands so hard that it started to bleed. Wah! Riser said in stupor in the realization that his current enemy was the White Dragon Emperor. Only to notice Issei was no longer on his place before. Wait, where is Divide? The sound of the sacred gear could be heard from above. Looking upwards, fearing that his enemy would surprise attack him in his stupor. What Riser found was instead the dragonkin kicking his queen until she slammed the ground. Jumping from the crater that he made, Issei held in his hand a vial. Oh, penning the vial and drinking the content, Issei could feel himself being rejuvenated. Ah, so this is what Phoenix tears tasted like. True, it's very useful, Issei said as he threw off the empty vial. How do you know about the Phoenix tears? Riser asked in disbelief. Come on, Riser. Anyone who bothered to read the rules on rating game would know that each team can bring 2 vials of Phoenix tears. And while it's pretty obvious I won't have any, the same can't be said about you, a member of the Phoenix clan itself, right? Besides, now we can have a fair fight where each of us is in his prime condition, Issei said. Fair fight. Fair fight. Then what about the massacre that you did to my peerage? Riser shouted in anger. If I didn't do that, would you deign yourself to fight me directly, Riser? If I didn't beat them thoroughly and bait you to use your full power, I'm sure you will find excuses to make the result of this rating game invalid, that's why, Issei sneered. Full power. Full power. Fine, you asked for it. Lizard, I will fight you with full power. Riser finally snapped as a pair of wings made of blazing flames appeared on his back instead of the traditional devil's wings. Dashing towards Issei, Riser threw a fist at the latter's face, only to be caught. You know, I just realized that you no longer speak in third person, good. But still, this is not enough to defeat me, chicken, Issei taunted. Divide. Raw. Issei shouted as he punched Riser's face back, except that this punch hit Riser. The punch managed to throw Riser quite far before he stopped, his jaw was dislocated. Oi, really? That's it? You're pathetic, chicken. After finished saying that though, Riser rose back, his jaw was aflame for a bit before being completely healed. Touching his jaw to check it, Riser looked at Issei again before taunting back. That's just a test, lizard. Now this is my real power. Propelled by his fiery wings, Riser managed to deliver a punch so fast that Issei didn't manage to block it. Now it's Issei's turn to be thrown across the arena, and even slammed to the arena's wall. As Issei's body fell from the crater on the wall, a hole could be seen on the armor. Ah, damn, now that's more like it, Issei coughed a bit before settling to a manic grin. Now, shall we fight, lizard? Riser asked as he settled into a stance. Hey. Ha 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 ha. Bring it on, chicken. Issei laughed as he lunged at the Phoenix. The battle between them was nothing like the ones before in the arena. It was terribly intense, and maddeningly brutal. Punches and kicks were thrown around by the two combatants with wild abandon. While the fights before between Issei and Riser's peerage were quite short either because he was that strong or Riser's peerage was underestimating him. The current one showed why Riser deserved his reputation in raiding game. It was therefore very fortunate that the self-aware Revel, the only other surviving member from Riser's peerage, had quickly relocated herself as far as she physically could from the clash. While everyone thought that the fight was even, it was not. Each of Riser's attacks that hit left at least a bruise on Issei's body. And yet any of the wounds Riser received from Issei was healed instantly because of his clan's power, even with constant divide from Issei. Issei. This is bad, Albion warned. Yeah, I know that Phoenix clan has insane regeneration ability, but this is out of my expectation, Issei replied. Just how much demonic power this guy has to be able to keep healing himself even with all of the divides have inflicted upon him. Issei thought, yet that slight negligence was all that Riser needed to deliver an uppercut on Issei's jaw. Damn, Issei groaned as he landed a few meters away from Riser. I change my mind. No way Rias and her peerage can beat this fucker with their current power. Shit, if this keeps going, I might lose. Is that all you got, lizard? I thought you're better than this. Riser taunted. TCH, you've seen nothing, you damned chicken, Issei said as he wiped a trickle of blood from his chin. Ha, admit it, lizard, you miscalculate. You thought that with your power and divine dividing you can handle my immortality. Hey. You're wrong, and now you're going to suffer because of what you've done to my girls, Riser grinned as he cracked his knuckles. I thought dragons are supposed to be very resistant against attacks like that, Azazel commented as he saw the fight. Mature dragons, maybe, but Issei isn't one, yet, Chrome replied. And what marks one as a mature dragon? Azazel asked. Well, the opinions vary, but most agree that a dragon can be deemed as mature when they can summon their own flame. And for my son's case, he would probably unlock his wings as well. Chrome answered. I see, Azazel said. All in all, this is good for Issei. Being pressured is one of the fastest ways for a dragonling to unlock their flame, Chrome added as he lied back on the sofa. Show them, Issei. Show them the power of the son of Crescent Circle Dragon, Chrome grinned. Gah, Issei screamed as he was thrown to the ground again by Riser. Now where is your confidence? Lizard. Riser taunted. Ah, Issei groaned as he crouched on the ground. Damn, some of my ribs are broken. That chicken is no joke, Issei's thought as he touched his chest to check his injuries. Ha ha ha, if I knew things would turn out like this, I wouldn't have gone overkill on his peerage, Issei laughed in his mind. You know, lizard, I changed my mind. I won't make the Lucifer heiress my concubine. No, she will be more than that. I will turn her into my sex slave. Riser smirked at the end, causing uproar in the whole arena. Oi, isn't this too much? Fucking chicken. But isn't that completely within his right once they're married? That will only happen if the half-dragon loses though. Who cares? The heiress is just a half-breed. I say she deserves it for being so audacious. Yeah, a half-breed is the princess of hell. Preposterous. Such conversations could be heard from the audiences in the arena. Meanwhile, the Aphorim, Ntioned princess was focusing her whole attention on her childhood friend. Gritting his teeth, Issei spoke to the person responsible for the uproar. Riser, this matter is between the two of us. Don't bring Anna into this. Hey, why can't I? Once you lose, the princess will be mine to take, so why can't I do this? Riser boasted. Riser, Issei growled, an emotion not unlike his feeling on Anna's grandfather growing in his heart. Hey, to think you can beat me. Sure, I applaud you for being able to defeat my peerage, but I am immortal, lizard. You will never defeat me. Clenching his hands hard, Issei terribly wanted to rip Riser into shreds for what he had said, but he knew the Phoenix was right. The latter's immortality was too strong for him, way out of his expectations. Unknown to any who watched the game. Except maybe his parents watching from their home, Issei's body started to release heat. And once again, my offer still stands, I can let you come visit if you want to. Maybe I'll even let you watch when I do her. But even so, he had promised her. The heat kept becoming hotter. I'll let you watch how I turn your beloved queen into my plaything. To protect her. To never let anything hurt her. The heat was hot enough at this point that it caused heat haze-like effect. How she begs for me to take her. For she was her beloved friend, part of the pack. The heat haze was strong enough that the air around Issei blurred, just like a mirage. How she begs me to do it harder. And he would do and sacrifice anything to protect her. Consequences be damned. The heat Z was so intense that everyone in the arena could feel it. All except Riser, who was so busy boasting. How she begs me to. Riser suddenly stopped, as he realized that Issei had somehow disappeared. Wait, where did he? Riser was cut off as something invisible crashed into him. The only reaction he could do was to think how hot it was suddenly. As the audience tried to puzzle out just what had happened, the air around where Issei was before flickered, showing him one moment and not the next. As if there was an invisible flame covering him. As the flame receded enough so that everyone could see him, the audiences could see that the half-dragon's appearances had changed. A new pair of scaly wings came out above the divine dividing, making Issei had two pairs of wings now. The new wings were white in color, with black flame-like patterns on them. Other than the wings, Issei's hands and feet had changed into actual claws, incorporating the draconic enhancement into them. And lastly, a paw. Of black horns grew from Issei's head, making his looks more draconic, or even demonic. Wow, I never expect the horns. I guess he gets that from you. Tomo, Chrome commented on Issei's new form. Ignoring her husband, Tomo was still frowning while looking at her son's fight. Huff. Come on, Tomo, cheer up. I'm sure our kid will make the right decision regarding the bird. He's my son as much as yours, after all. Besides, you should be proud that our son gets your horns. Chrome tried to cheer Tomo as he pulled her to cuddle with him on the sofa. Sighing, Tomo finally relaxed and snuggled into her husband. I guess I just got lax after all these years. I mean, the wars are over, we finally could settle down in peace. We had Issei, and then suddenly Asia and Anna joined the family, along with her little peerage. It's just, I sometimes wish things will never change, you know, that things will stay the same forever. And yet you know things exactly will never stay the same after the incident with Rizvam 10 years ago, Chrome replied. Yeah, I guess I can only hope for the best then. Tomo relented as Chrome played with her white hair. By the way, Azazel, what the fuck are you doing hiding behind my table? Chrome turned to look at the pathetically hiding and shivering Azazel. Why you mean, why you didn't recognize your son's flame? Azazel stuttered. Now that you talk about it, I at first think that it's a combination of my flame and Tomo's ability, but do you have any idea about it? Chrome raised an eyebrow. Yeah, it's in a castle quite a distance away. From the arena where Issei and Riser fought, two male devils could be seen drinking tea on a table. The first one, a middle-aged looking man with black hair and peaceful violet eyes, stopped when he felt something familiar coming from the direction of the arena. What is it, father? Another black-haired man with violet eyes that seemed to be a bit younger than the first one, asked. Dialka, are there anything of note happened today? The first man asked back. TCH, let me check. The younger man, Dialka, furiously checked a journal. By Lilith, thousands of years and yet you still can't remember to check the daily news. Dialka, the first man asked exasperatedly. Shut up, old man. You know I prefer fighting than being the head of the clan like this. I find it. It says here that there's a rating game between the Lucifer girl's new king and the Phoenix brat's whole peerage. Really interesting. I wonder whether the king is really that strong or he is just being idiotically arrogant, Dialka grinned. I see, the older man said as he sipped his drink again. Why the question, father? Dialka asked. Nothing. Just an old man curiosity, the older man answered. This feeling. Have you returned to us, your majesty? The first Baal, Zekram Baal, reminisced. As Issei flexed his new claws, he saw Riser finally returned after being thrown away before. There were burns all over his skins. Most of them third-degree burns. Amazingly, none of them seemed to be healed by Riser's ability. What the hell is that? Riser gasped as he suffered a great deal amount of pain from the last attack. What else? It's my dragon flame, chicken. And apparently, it's very effective against you. Just give up now, Riser, Issei said. Though he said that confidently. The wounds he received from Riser was still there. As if, I won't lose to you, Hakumen, Riser indignantly replied. Issei, that's my real name. Not Hakumen, but Issei, Hyodo Dub Issei, Issei said. I see. Then, shall we continue, Hyodo Dub Issei? Riser readied himself. Of course, Riser Phoenix, Issei said as he reignited his flames, which once again covered him as if he was half invisible. Then with a roar, they once again continued their battle. RRRRAAAAAHHHH. On the background, Azazel's explanation could be heard. Let's see, where to begin this. While Riser's new burns wouldn't heal like usual, Issei was also limited by his previous wounds, evening the field once again. Issei's flame was the original Lucifer's flame. A long time ago, back when he was still an angel and known as Hellel. Yet, on top of Riser's attacks no longer as effective as before due to Issei's newfound strengthened defense through his draconic awakening, Issei's flame was super effective against Riser. It's Lucifer's original ability, gifted by the biblical god to his first angel. It's known by many names, such as the First Holy Flame, the God's Judgment, and others. But its true name is, Flame of Phantasm. Moreover, the flame's ability helped Issei in hiding from Riser's more direct attack, forcing the latter to use more area of effect attacks. As you can see, the flame's name isn't just for show. The flame doesn't just have really strong holy properties, it's also terribly hot, ending up way after the blue color in the light spectrum. It causes this weird effect where it doesn't only turn invisible, but also hides the user. At normal state, it just cloaks the user, hiding them, but if fully unleashed, the flame will cause a flare wave that engulfs and incinerates all that it passes in an instant. Comparable, if not stronger, to the gods of flame from various pantheons. The only ones I can think of that are capable of the same feat are the likes of Kagutsuchi. And he can burn the whole continent to cinders. This is why Lucifer is the strongest of all of the angels, and later on, the devils. He is the morning star, the first and the greatest devil. King. Though Issei's mastery of his new flame was minimum at best, he still managed to control and use his flame as best as he could. He subconsciously realized that his flame was really dangerous to beings like devils. And hurting Anna was the one thing he didn't want to do the most. And so, slowly, steadily, he managed to corner Riser. After Lucifer became a devil, most of the ability turned into Lucifer clan's current ability. Eternal Void, with what left of the flame then given to the original Satan, then Satanel, becoming the Satan clan's Azure Blaze. With the return of the flame, well, it's obvious what else will follow. Your son is no longer just the White Dragon Emperor, Chrome. He is also the second coming of Lucifer, the second morning star. Indeed, he is now, the Phantasm Dragon Emperor. This is it, Riser. This is the end. Now take this. Issei opened his jaw wide and unleashed a blast of invisible flame, one several levels stronger than his previous attacks. Do not underestimate me. Riser returned fire as he unleashed a blast of hellfire of his own. At first, it seemed Riser's blast was stronger, but then Issei's flame slowly overpowered Riser's bit by bit. Damn it. Riser gritted as he used all of his might to push back. I win, Riser. Issei shouted as he gave a last push, his flame engulfing Riser in an explosion that blew all of the audiences in the arena and even outside of it. As the smoke from the explosion receded, everyone was holding their breath to see what remained of Riser. When the smoke disappeared completely, the body of Riser could be seen. Still breathing from the movement of the chest, though unconscious and badly burned. The latter was nothing that couldn't be healed by advanced healing magic though. Our Riser Phoenix is unconscious, and therefore is retired. With the king of Riser's peerage retired, Riser Phoenix's peerage has lost. The winner of the rating game is the sole contender from Princess Valiana Lucifer's peerage, the king, the Hakuryuko. Hyodo dub Issei. No Gaimajin loudly announced, drawing loud cheers from all of the audiences. At his name announced as the winner and the cheers, Issei lifted his clenched left claw high, drawing more cheers. Eyes. The screaming form of Anna could be seen as she ran and jumped to the arena, to the panic of her peerage, including Issei. Anna. Issei caught his Kai. LD hood friend by reflect as the latter started to hug Issei really hard. Anna. My ribs. They're broken. Ouch. Do you realize how worried I am, you muscle-headed reptile? Anna screamed as she cried. But you know as well as I that I mustn't lose, Issei reasoned. But do you have to risk yourself this much in the process? The battle wouldn't be as fun and exciting as this then. Issei nervously said as he looked elsewhere. Eyes, Anna responded by tightening her hold over her childhood friend. Anna. My ribs. Ag. I can't breathe. Ugh. I'm sorry, alright. Hey, I'm dying here. As the Lucifer princess kept punishing her battle maniac king, now surrounded with the rest of her happy peerage, the scene changed into that of Zekram Bale and Azza. Zell drinking tea from two different locations, the latter having calmed considerably. And thus, a new era begins for this world. Why do these piles of paperwork keep increasing no matter how fast I work? A silver-haired girl could be seen sitting on a desk while her blue eyes looking over the report in her hands. This girl was none other than the Princess of Hell, Valiana Lucifer. Or as her close friends liked to call her, Anna. Right now, she was working on the paperwork that had piled up in her office due to her escapade in the human world for a week. Next time, you should at least do all of your jobs properly in advance if you want to go off to the human world for a week, Anna. Yukirian Satan, one of the Satan twin heirs, admonished her as he helped her in her work while working on his own. Well, I was too excited to see him as fast as I could when Azazel finally said it's fine for me to meet him again. After all, we hadn't seen each other for a decade. Still, why would they give this much work to us now? Anyways, Sears X won't step down from his position as the interim Lucifer anytime soon after all, Anna complained. Well, you know what they say. Better sooner than later, right? Better learn what your responsibility is and heir now rather than later when you will have too much on your plate to divide your time properly. Lindo Satan, Yukirian's older brother, advised. And yet you will only do your work if either mother or I remind you, Ni-san, Yukirian remarked. Stop bringing that up every damn time, will you, Yukio, Lindo complained. Still. It's quite a surprise to not see your peerage here helping you with work these last few days, Anna. Especially with the addition of eyes to your peerage, Yukio said to Anna. Today Kuroka is SP. Ending her time with her younger sister again. Lefei and Baiko are still in the progress of decorating our new clubroom, and Arthur is sparring with Kiba as Eyes is not here, Anna answered. Where is that king of yours anyway? Lindo asked. Frowning, Anna answered, well, he said to me a few days ago that his father suddenly declared for an urgent family reunion. All of his uncles and their family would also be there. Uncles. I presume they are from his mother's side as his father is, like that, Yukirian said, unsure. I'm not sure myself. Eyes and his family suddenly just started to pack things up and then told me and the others to watch over the house for a few days until they returned. It's been a few days, so I'm sure he will return soon. By the way, how is the school life so far for you, Anna? Lindo asked. Hearing the question, Anna remembered the first day when she and her peerage transferred to Kuo Academy. My name is Arthur Pendragon. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Arthur introduced himself politely, charming quite the number of girls with his handsome foreign looks and noble demeanor. The name is Baiko, son Baiko. Nice to meet ya, Osu, Baiko said energetically, drawing some welcoming shouts from the male members of the class. My name is Tuju Kuroka. Hope we can get along splendidly, Naya, Kuroka purred seductively, drawing a different kind of welcoming shouts from the male students than Baiku's. It's been a few days since the battle with Riser's peerage. Now that everything had settled into a relative peace once again, Anna and her peerage finally decided it's time to transfer to Kuo Academy, since Issei went to school there. Anna, Arthur, Baiko, and Kuroka transferred to the second year while Lefei transferred to the first year, same as Asia. It was only proper if the whole peerage could be together as much as possible after all. It wasn't helped by the fact that both Chrome and Tomo, primarily the latter, had finally succeeded in convincing the peerage to move in permanently to the Hyodo Dube residence. If they're going to attend the same school as Issei and be in the human world most of the time, why not just live with them instead of searching for other accommodations? My name is Valiana Cipher. You can call me Anna. Nice to meet you, Anna said politely, not unlike Arthur. And similar Arthur, many boys managed to get charmed by Anna. As well as some girls. Alright, stay calm, everyone. Now if anyone has any question for our transfer students. Yes, Kiryu. The homeroom teacher pointed to a girl that lifted her hand. The girl wore spectacles, with golden eyes and messy brown hair tied into braids on each side. Her name was Kiryu Aika, infamously known for her perverseness, not unlike Matsuda and Motohama. Well, I have heard some rumors, but is it true that you're dating Hyodo-kun, Anna-san? Aika asked point blank, having accidentally heard the discussion Motohama and the others had a few weeks ago. The question threw the whole class into an uproar, with all of the students besides Motohama, Matsuda, Murayama, and Katase looking at Issei and Anna. So that's the so-called childhood friend. Wow, she's even prettier than I imagined, Murayama whispered. Right, that's Issei for you, even I'm impressed, Motohama whispered back. Still, knowing Issei, he will probably deny it. Well, I'm not, Anna and I. We are not, Issei stammered in surprise against the sudden question. Yet right when he was going to deny that he and Anna were not dating at all, his eyes caught Anna's for but a moment before the latter turned her face away while heavily blushing. Never mind, Issei said uncharacteristically before looking elsewhere with his face becoming a bit red as well. Or maybe not, Motohama remarked in surprise for the sudden development, his hand rubbing his chin. Issei's indecisive answer sent the whole class into a greater uproar, one that wouldn't abate until the second break. Anna, Valiana, can you hear me? Yukirian tried to snap Anna out of her stupor. It's no use, Yukio. She's off in her own world. Look, she is even unconsciously playing with the scarf that the boy gave her. Tisk, girls. In love, typical, Lindo sighed. The scarf in question was a blue-colored scarf Issei gifted to Anna the day after the raiding game with Riser. It was, in Issei's words, a welcome home gift to her, and also because he felt that hell could be surprisingly cold at times although it was called hell. In Lindo's opinion, it was an apology gift for his antics during the battle against Riser. Whipped, Lin commented in his mind. Like you're one to talk, Ni-san, Yukirian deadpanned while staring at his elder twin with judging eyes. Oi, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Lindo snapped. Before any arguments could break out between the two brothers, a white and black colored magic circle appeared on the floor of the office. The ONLY one that could instantly teleport to the place was either Anna's own peerage or special people that had permission like Lindo and Yukirian. Yet Arthur's and the others' magic circle was like those of the Lucifer clans. And Lindo and others like him used their own clan's magic circle, therefore there could only be one person which the magic circle belonged to. When I got to the clubroom, I said that you're here working on the paperwork so I got here as fast as I could. I'm really sorry that I couldn't help you these few days, Anna. Oh, I see Rin and Yukio are here as well today. Good afternoon, the Lucifer King. Hyodo Dube Issei greeted the twin heirs. Looking at the oblivious Issei and Anna who was still off in her own world, Lindo thought it was time to get out of the place and leave the two lovebirds alone. Hey, eyes. Been a while. Oh yeah, I just remembered, Yukio and I have an urgent business, so we will take our leave now that you are here. See you later, eyes, Anna. Let's go, Yukio. Lindo promptly grabbed Yukirian and then teleported them out of the place before the latter could even protest. What's getting them in such a hurry? Issei asked in confusion while scratching his head. Maybe something to do with the Satan clan. Albion offered helpfully. Maybe. But now isn't the time to think about that. Hey, Anna, hey, snap out of it. Issei snapped his fingers near Anna's ear to snap her out of whatever she was in. Huh. Where are Issei? When did you return? Anna asked, only now realizing Issei's presence in the room. Just a few hours ago, Issei answered. Looking closely at his queen, Issei continued, yep, you clearly have been working for too long. I'm going to bring you back to the clubroom whether you're willing or not. You totally need to rest. Issei sighed while pinching the bridge of his nose in exasperation before grabbing Anna's hand. Maybe you're right, Anna replied, still overconscious of Issei's presence. If you can just accept it like that, then you must be totally exhausted. Normally you will at least fight a bit. Now come on, I will teleport us out of here, Issei said before. Teleporting the two of them through his magic circle. Issei and Anna arrived in a room located just under the Orc clubroom which belonged to Rias, peerage. Publicly, the room was the clubroom of the MRC, or the Mythology Research Club. A similar but different in study subject to the club upstairs in which Issei, Anna, her peerage, and surprisingly, Asia, were the members of. In truth, the club was the front that the student council president, one Sona Citri, prepared for Anna's peerage in case they had to be absent from school because of supernatural matters or something similar. That way EY could use club activity as a smokescreen. Still, Issei couldn't believe all of the student body believed it when the members were all made of the new transfer students with the exception of him and to an extent, Asia. I still can't believe Citri Senpai made a new club out of thin air and then gave this clubroom to us just like that, Issei said upon arriving. Well, like I said, I'm pretty sure. It's easier and more convenient for Sona Senpai as the student council president this way. She takes her role seriously, after all. But still, where is everyone? Last I remembered, Lefei and Baiko still should be here decorating the room, Anna frowned. Right at that moment, Lefei came into the room in panic, Awaa. Anna, eyes, help. It's a really big mess right now upstairs. Grabbing Lefei's shoulders, Anna tried to calm her down. Calm down, Lefei. Now tell me slowly, what happened? After composing herself, Lefei answered, a few minutes ago, 3 members of the church came here, saying that some of the Excalibur fragments under the church's supervision was stolen and that the thief was traced to here. Now they're asking us for our assistance in the matter. Let me guess, they're passive-aggressively saying that we somehow are behind the thief's action. Anna asked patiently. Why yeah, but not only that. They're also subtly insulting the devils in general. Big brother already a hard time in holding back Baiko and Kuroka, and Yudo Senpai also somehow doesn't help in calming them down while instead becoming really aggressive all of a sudden, Lefei said in worry. Since it's regarding Excalibur. No wonder Yudo is pissed, Issei added. Being near Arthur's Excalibur ruler for most of the day, it was only a matter of time until Yudo finally snapped and challenged Arthur to a duel. Yudo lost. Quite badly in fact, but Anna's peerage finally knew about Yudo's history with holy swords, especially with Excalibur. Since Excalibur was the Pendragon's family heirloom, Arthur would never let it be destroyed. So he and Yudo then decided to make a compromise. I see. I think I get the picture. Let's go before the situation escalates any further, Anna said decisively before going to the Orc clubroom upstairs. Well, this might be a good opportunity to finally return Excalibur to its rightful owner, Issei commented offhandedly as he followed his queen. Let's just hope that the situation isn't bad enough that it can't be salvaged. With the ceasefire between the 3 factions being as fragile as it is, we can't afford to incur the church's enmity and risk the relative peace we have right now. Anna said while massaging her temple as they neared the Orc clubroom. Don't worry, Anna. Even I'm not that impulsive. By the way, Lefei, Asia was told by my other to drop something off in the clubroom. I assume she's with the others then. Issei asked Lefei. Oh, yes, Asia-chan arrived just moments before the church members came, and so unfortunately was dragged into this. We tried to hide her as much as we can, knowing her past with the church, but with Baiko and Kuroku losing their temper and Big Brother holding them off, only I was left to hide her. Ooh. I hope nothing happened to her while I was gone, Lefei bit her lip in worry. Don't worry, Lefei, I'm sure those church members wouldn't dare to do anything to her, or else, Issei said with narrowed eyes. Right as Issei said that though. To think that you really are associating with the devils to the point of changing your appearance. Your past is, holy maiden, must be weeping right now with how far you have fallen, which, a female voice could be heard. That's enough, Zenobia, no need to make her suffer more. Instead, shouldn't we as followers of God be merciful and exorcise her? Isn't that also what you want, Sister Asia? Surely if you're a true follower of our Lord, then you would rather die rather than continue to live in sin, aren't you? Another female voice said to Asia. Hey, isn't that too far? A third voice weakly said. That is. Issei then heard Asia's voice full of fear and terror, during which Issei finally decided that enough was enough. Sweeping his left arm, Issei burned down the whole wall where the door into the orc clubroom was. In an instant, there was no trace left of the wall. In the room, Issei could see the rest of Anna's peerage, Ria's peerage. The crying Asia, and 3 persons he never saw before, obviously the church members. Yet all of his attention was on his crying little sister who was now being hugged by both Lefei and Anna. Turning to the 3 church members, that Issei just realized were girls, not that he cared as none of them would be left intact soon. Issei sneered, if you want someone to die that badly, why don't you just kill yourselves? Isn't that what you do best? Dying uselessly like insects, all in the name of your so-called Son of God. With how fanatically loyal you are, I bet you'd all commit suicide without question if you were asked to do so and think of it as martyrdom. Oh, but that isn't even the worst of it, is it? None of you can even think for yourselves. Enough da. I'm certain that if you were to be tested on a request to kill your beloved God to save the world with a hidden message behind it, you'd probably kill him without any further thought and fail that test. Dooming many people that rely on him to survive. Such is the extent of the idiocy of your kind. Why you dare? The girl whose voice Issei heard the first time said in wrath. Zenobia, stop, second girl put her arm in front of the first girl. And just who do you think you are, sinner, to talk to the servants of God with such uncouth manners? Hearing the question, Issei just grinned maniacally while unfolding his dragon wings, flame of phantasm licking his frame. Glad you ask. I am the older brother of the girl you just told to die. My name is Hyodo Dube Issei, the Phantasm Dragon Emperor. Thanks for watching.